And what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Juice is Loose. We're at 150, so we're halfway to the 200 episode mark. But Nintendo had to just go ahead and drop some news on us today, so we're gonna have to talk about it. And then just want to welcome back Rob, Rule 2, back for a Juice is Loose Monday podcast, man. Welcome back.
Feels good. I stopped playing Metroid Prime just to do this because I care about you guys that much. Just so you know.
So yeah, let's Super NES Classic Edition. Nintendo just casually had a Twitter post, and now there's an official website. So 21 games, including never ever released Star Fox 2, which is just unexpected and awesome that they're doing that. And some great games. Comes with 2 controllers. The jury is still out there on how these controllers connect, because we're looking at this photo and it looks like the stock Super NES controller plugs in the front, but if it's to scale that small, then it would be way smaller than the standard Super NES. So, and then it says it works with the Classic Controller Pro and Classic Controller from the Wii, which tells me somewhere there's those other ports. So it's going to be curious if once we find out exactly that, how those can connect, because who cares about connecting to the Wii remote in this day and age? Like, to me, like, it shouldn't even be a thing. So let's go to Ms. T first, the guy who unfortunately never got the NES Classic. There was a missed opportunity there a few months ago where I could have got you one. So how do you feel?
Bring that up.
Make it hurt a little more.
Put the salt in the wound, sucker.
So how'd you feel about this announcement and the 21 games, the price of $80, 2 controllers? How you feeling about it? You gonna try to get one? Are you excited?
Yeah, very excited. Obviously you brought up old wounds with the NES Classic. So I'm of two minds. I'm like, on one end, I'm like, this is really cool that this is actually happening. But then I'm again thinking about the NES mini debacle. So, but dude, like, the best thing about this and this would be worth the price alone is Star Fox 2. To me, like, that is the reason alone to get this thing, because I actually have a repro card of Star Fox 2, and you don't know how much different it's going to actually be from the final, because I'm sure Nintendo went back in and polished it and made it to what they wanted initially. So I don't know how what differences are going to be. Probably not much, because from what I've been told and what I've learned is that the repro is basically the final one. But I'm sure there's some tweaks that need to be done, and maybe they even fix some things. But anyway, that is the reason alone to have this thing. And yes, I'm going to more, because I was a little bit nonchalant about the NES Classic. I'm going to be more aggressive in trying to secure myself one of these, because I definitely want to have the official Star Fox 2 release from Nintendo.
Yeah,
that is cool.
That's like same for me. Like, that, without that game, I'd be like, yeah, there's good games on here, but that makes it like something special. Like, no one ever.
Yeah, and I know you're like a super fan of the original Star Fox.
And it comes with Star Fox 1 and 2, which is
right. So cool.
And then 2 controllers out of the box. I mean, that seemed like a brilliant.
Now, the controllers, are those like official? Well, they can't be. It's gonna be small.
The controllers are the official size. Nintendo hasn't clarified how they're going to connect, how they're going to plug in. They haven't showed the controller end or the length of the cord, which needs to be significantly longer than the NES Classic, which was 3 foot.
Yeah. They confirmed that the length is
I thought it was 5.
I don't know if that was
5.
confirmed, though. I don't know.
That's what they said.
Who, Nintendo?
Yeah, Nintendo said that. Hold on,
Let's go 2 more feet. Like, why 5? Why not 9? So
exactly. It should be way more than that.
That's not addressing the problem.
Is 9 really gonna help you?
Yeah, 9 would make a huge difference.
Really?
See, and I mean, I wouldn't need 9 either T. I see what you're saying, but I do think a significant jump is what it needs. Why not at least double it? Why
Yeah,
stop?
six
Well, I'm thinking, I mean, I'm sure they were really meticulous about the manufacturing and cost and all that stuff because they wanted to keep the price. I mean, $20 more than NES Classic. That's pretty good. A lot of people thought it would be $100, and people would have happily paid that. Because they're paying $300 and some change for the NES Classic Online.
Ridiculous.
Right now, it's ridiculous.
Well, what's interesting is there's so much give and take because like the NES Classic was $60 with 30 games and one controller, but this is $20 more, and there's less games, but we have 2 controllers and a never released game.
But there's more games that you actually give a shit about. Nobody cares about Balloon Fight.
It's pretty true. I mean, the games.
Nintendo, you need to stop releasing Balloon Fight. Nobody gives a damn about that game.
You are so mean to that game.
It's going to be like that the first game they have online for the Switch thing. Just watch.
Oh
It'll
my
be Balloon
God.
Fight.
Stop it.
Some people like the game, man. Some people liked it.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, you can't pick a game on here and be like, oh, that's stupid. Like, why was that in here?
The Street Fighter 2 shouldn't be on here. Get that shit out.
So, definitely, hopefully there's pre-orders this time.
Yeah, so I'm going to have all you guys on the lookout as well. We're all going to look out for each other,
We
whoever wants
should
one.
totally do that. You're right. We should do that.
And that's how we'll do it.
All right, how about you, Robert? Is this something you're planning on getting?
Yes. I actually was lucky enough to get an NES Mini.
Oh, fuck you.
It's
I mean, that's great. I mean, that's a great thing. That's awesome. I'm happy for you.
I'm touching it right
There was so much salt in that.
No, I mean, it's everyone wanted an NES Mini. It looks cool. It's tiny and it could play all those games, But the best thing is just look how tiny it is. It's so cool, and that's why a Super Nintendo. However, to me,
I just hear T over there breathing hard as hell, like, man.
Oh no, I'm working out. That's why.
to me, like,
Sure.
to me, the Super Nintendo games are way better than the NES games. For me personally, and that's why this excites me more because this one. I mean, an unreleased Star Fox game, that's so cool. I mean, that's really damn cool. And like you said, T, I think that would just warrant the purchase within itself. Star Fox 2, an unreleased game is finally being released. That's crazy.
Can we say how Omega unlike Nintendo that is?
Yeah.
That is unbelievable for Nintendo to do something like that. They don't do that kind of stuff. Like,
and people still like to say that Nintendo never listens.
right. So Mother 3 is next, folks.
Well,
Mother 3 is
wait,
gonna
you're
come
jumping the gun on
I'm
that.
about to say, nah, man, you know, man. Watch them come out with like a remake for the Switch, and people be like, "What?"
What? Exactly. Just
That'd
like
be
I
crazy.
said, I predicted that. By the way, but go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry,
Mother
man.
3 remake?
Yeah, a Mother 3, like they were doing the 3D one for N64. My prediction is that they're going to go back to that one for the US release or whatever. So, but yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Robert.
I think, but yeah, like it is $20 more extra in the NES Mini, but I think that's perfectly fine just because these are a lot of these games are pretty rare. You got like Earthbound and stuff. It makes more sense. And again, to me, I think these games are just better than the NES Mini games. Like the lineup just looks so damn good compared. I don't want to keep dissing the NES Mini, but the NES Mini to me just like these are games I would rather play than it wasn't like Bubble Bobble and stuff on the NES Mini.
Hey, now that's a great game. Though.
Bubble Bobble is pretty awesome though.
I don't know. I don't
The
care.
original Yoshi was like a Dr. Mario.
Yeah, like
Shit,
Yoshi
though.
Cookie or whatever.
There's
yeah.
definitely there's not 21 games of this caliber on the NES.
No.
Definitely. So,
I'd have to
I'm
relook
excited.
at the list, but all right, Retro. Let's go to you. I know you didn't even get one where you're from. The NES Classic never even hit the store that you frequent for your gaming.
Nope.
Didn't even ever get one, but
Wow.
give your
The
thoughts on this, and then what do you expect the chances that this one will be available to you if you want one?
The thing with the NES Mini is like I have several stores over here, and when something limited comes out, I mean, people cry like, "Why do you make limited edition shit?" And I'm like, you know how it goes. You go to a site, you every day you keep track on it, but I never found it on any site. My stores, it's not like I said, it's not like they never got any, and people were there before me. My store simply never got any at all. So I didn't care too much. I wanted one because it looked fun. You had a mini NES. You know, I owned like 95% of the games on there, so it's not like I needed it for the games. But with this, it's like what Robert just brought up. Like what I said too is like you have so many rare games on it. As a collector, you have like Mega Man X and Mario RPG and Earthbound and Super Ghouls and Ghosts. There's all these games that are just worth so much fucking money that you can't afford any of this. So it's really good for that. And then the obvious reasons what people say, like Star Fox 2. So personally, I want one, but I'm not going to go out of my way. I'm going to keep track of the sites and my store. But if I don't get it, I'm not going to be salty, you know, because that's how it's going to go. My only personal pet peeve with this thing is why the fuck is Street Fighter on it? It was just released on the Switch. Not only was it just released on the Switch, they put Street Fighter 2 Turbo on this, which is the one I grew up with, which is lacking half the roster. I don't understand the Street Fighter 2 thing. Apart from that, I agree. It is better in every aspect than what the NES Mini did when it comes to what you get for your money and the games they chose for it.
However, I will say one thing that apparently on Amazon UK, the pre-orders were up for a while. Like you could have waited half an hour later and you could have still gotten it.
I think some people got them, yeah.
But now it's sold out, obviously. But like,
the thing that is the problem with everything that is UK, especially like Nintendo UK and Amazon UK, a lot of the times, either bank transfers won't work from the rest of Europe, or with Nintendo UK, you cannot even order from there unless you actually live in England or Scotland or Ireland, all that stuff.
Wow.
So it's just an issue with that.
And that's going to get better after Brexit.
Yeah. One can dream.
Let's just point out the NES Classic never even had a pre-order anyway. Like they didn't even ever open up pre-orders.
Nope.
God, those
Some
were the
person
dark
like
times,
on a Facebook group like to claim like, yeah, if you wanted it, you shouldn't cry for the NES Mini. Like pre-orders were up like a year before. I'm like, yo, bitch, that thing wasn't even announced a year until it was released. It's like,
exactly. It was like a month before it released. They announced the thing.
It was like right after E3, I think, that year. 2016.
Yeah, it's like right after E3, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe right before, but either way. All right, Rob, what's your take?
So I honestly, when I saw this, after the shock wore off, I was pretty much like over the moon. This is exactly what I want in my life right now because I've been craving so much old school gaming anyway. And it's honestly like the games roster is what helps. Like you guys, we already kind of talked about like the games roster is a big deal. Obviously, Star Fox was when I freaked out because Star Fox 2 was coming, and I love all the Star Fox games, and I always was jealous of T and everyone else who had a chance to play Star Fox 2 through like all the ROMs and stuff that have been online. And then, like you said, Retro, this is like the official release from Nintendo, so that just has me really, really excited to play through it. And, you know, like, it's interesting. When you talk about the Street Fighter thing, my guess on why they did that is because Street Fighter 2 is kind of synonymous with like the 16-bit era and the Super Nintendo. It was such a big deal. Yeah, and so that's just my guess, but I feel like that's why it's one of the games that they included. Even though
at least it's not the first version that didn't let you play as Bison.
Yeah, the original release. Yeah,
the Turbo.
The first time I ever played it.
Yeah, I played that when I was so bummed my friend bought it, and I was so glad I didn't because I didn't realize you couldn't play as those characters until the Turbo version came out. Like a year later.
When I was playing it, it was at my friend's house, my friend Jamie, when we were kids, and he got a Super Nintendo and Street Fighter right when it was all brand new, and I'd seen it like in GamePro magazine. I was like, well, this is incredible. And this was way before they even started releasing other versions. Like, I mean, the vanilla Street Fighter 2, when you never would have thought about playing as Bison. So it was really exciting. But the games that have me really freaking out, I'm looking at the list here, Contra 3, Donkey Kong Country, Super Castlevania, and Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Oh, those are such good games.
Classics.
Oh my god.
All
Classics.
of them.
Ghouls and Ghosts, by the way, another Capcom game, so that's a weird thing, but it's a great game, and I'm really excited to see that. And then, like you said, Super Mario RPG, never would have guessed that would be included.
You're gonna pay $80 if you want to try to buy that physical for a Super NES.
Yeah, for sure. Like I was just gonna say, like Star Fox 2. For the Repro card, I paid
like
$85.
Oh, damn.
I paid $85 for that thing just for Star Fox 2. And that's
a physical, right? You have to?
Yeah, physical. Yeah, I got the physical copy.
That's crazy, man. That's super cool. So
I'm
yeah,
still
I
happy
don't
to
know.
have it, but
I think I don't know. This could create like a whole battleground kind of situation, and obviously, like it's gonna go all over the place with this thing announcing, and we have to see how certain like business things play out. Like we've all talked about, like will they stock these things? I want to believe Nintendo is gonna do the right thing, but you know,
They officially said they would. They said significantly
right?
better stock.
Okay, well, significantly better isn't the same as one
That's
in every
like-
household.
Yeah, they only said through
Right.
2017.
Yeah, but it's still going to be
Really?
limited. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and I just wish they would just brand it that way. Like it's so ridiculous not to
Yeah.
make that such a bold.
Just
statement.
say it.
Yeah, just you release limited crap all the time. Just say that this is another limited thing, and it's like it's still gonna sting that people might struggle to find them. But I feel like a lot of people will still understand, like, okay, this is supposed to be short supply. But I just feel like they don't want to be straightforward with that for some reason with this, and I don't
Because
really.
they didn't want people doing what they're going to do anyway, which is flock to buy 1,000 of these things.
Yep.
And so
At least they
I
could
mean,
do is what some people say is that just have everything, you know, like Amazon and
One per
Target,
customer.
whatever, all that shit. Have pre-orders open, transfer those numbers, and just meet the demand and go a little bit over it.
That's what I've been saying for years about Amiibos, the NES Classic.
Mhm.
Just open up the pre-orders, see how many you get,
And then make them.
make sure
Make 'em,
you have that many.
It's weird, and that's the thing. Like, it makes so much sense. That's why with the NES Classic, I think Nintendo absolutely screwed it up. With Amiibo, I feel like we've seen that they worked to fix that problem, and we all talked about this. My theory is they were probably caught off guard with Amiibo. I'll give them a pass just on Amiibo.
well,
But the
you
NES
still
Classic,
can't
no
find
way.
Link Amiibos.
Yeah, but it's not like not all.
not
of them.
over.
You can't find the Breath of the Wild ones.
You can't find a Breath of the Wild. You can't
Shit,
find
see.
Ocarina of Time. You can't find it.
There's
anywhere.
still a few Super Smash Brothers ones you can't find either.
Right. Oh yeah, Sheik. Good luck finding Sheik.
Yeah.
I got a Sheik.
But they got
I mean, trying to find one now.
Oh,
Lucinas for days. They got that supply of Lucinas and
But we can't find fucking Ike nowhere. What happened to that man?
It's crazy.
Damn.
It's not over. It's still going
See,
The
on.
I'm
main
not even
thing-
like up on Amiibo, so I didn't really
Yeah.
even know
I
that,
just
that it was still.
check when I go to the store. I always look there. Just
Gotcha.
curious. So
Yeah.
Terrell, what's your take? Did you ever own the Super NES back in the day?
Yes, but because of money situations, we always rented games. We never actually owned any of them. So I never got to play a lot of these games. This one am genuinely interested in, so I probably will get this one. So this will be kind of the secondary Amiibo craze again, where I'm gonna be scouring Targets and Toys R Us's and shit at 6 o'clock in the morning, hoping to God there isn't already a line for this crap.
There will be.
Because I haven't done that since the Amiibo. Like when the Amiibo started coming out is when I started doing that. I started taking days off work literally just to go get them. Now my obviously people don't know that, but you know, just that was
Your boss is like Cloud who?
Yeah. so like I haven't done that since when that kicked off in what was that 2014? It's been 3 years. My
I
God.
think, yeah, 2014 when Smash came out. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's been 3 years.
We're so old.
Yeah. But the games I'm looking forward to the most, because there's a lot of these I haven't played, is probably Super Mario RPG. I've never been into Star Fox, and even though I like Star Fox Zero, I mean, I'm not. I guess it wouldn't hurt to play where it originally came from. But I never got to play Final Fantasy 3. And
Wait. So you never played 64?
What Star Fox?
Yeah.
No.
Cut off his mic and get him out
Yeah.
of here.
That's the GTFO statement of the day, sir.
What?
No, I never did. I mean, I don't think I started owning games for my consoles until the GameCube. I think up until that point I was renting games. So if I couldn't get my hands to rent it, I never played it for a while anyway. But there's there's a good chunk of these games I legitimately want to play for the first time. And Earthbound specifically was one of those games that I kept seeing on my Wii U, and I was like, maybe, I don't know. And I'm like, you know what? I think the best experience for that game is to play it like on as close to I can get a Super NES as possible, which would be this. So we're gonna go for that.
Yeah. And I don't remember if I said this off air before we started or on air. Is that emulator on the NES Classic was so freaking amazing.
Yeah, it was.
I just hope that they have a similar success with the Super NES, because I mean it's old games both ways, but it is a bit of a difference in whatever that company that did the emulator for the NES Classic they did better than Nintendo ever did on the Virtual Console on the Wii U. I saw a comparison side by side, and it was like night and day. So if they can make those
HDMI out, by the way.
Hmm?
HDMI out, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Hopefully, that's these games will be the best they've ever looked, and
and it'll be nice if that really does turn out to be that quality. If maybe it's even a sign of whenever Nintendo releases their Virtual Console, like in 2024. Hopefully that'll look.
Mhm.
Which is fine by me.
Yeah, on the Switch version of the.
I'm one of those people like I'm not looking for the Virtual Console ever. Like I don't care if it ever comes back, but that's just me. Especially with collections like these.
See, for me, honestly, it's funny you say that because the thing, and I've said this on many, even my own videos, like I have access to so many Nintendo games. It's not even their games I want the Virtual Console for, and that even includes GameCube, as cool as that will be. Like I really want like some Genesis games and some offhand, some obscure stuff that I want access to. That's kind of what I hope.
Well, yeah, that's fine. Like I just don't want to buy Super Mario Brothers 2 again, again for the 5th time. It's just like,
well, yeah, and just getting to what Rob just said, Neo Geo they're doing that on the
Switch. They're
Switch.
doing their own games.
That's the way to do it. Yeah, I think that's the way to do it.
Oh, Sega just put their stupid. There's like 4 games I want, and then I don't ever need another old game.
Well, they have that.
What's that new Sega thing? What is that called?
The
Sega World.
They should just throw that on the Switch as an app. Like,
well, they said they were. They might eventually bring it to consoles, including the Switch or whatever. So I mean that'd
they
be
will.
good.
They're not.
That'd be good.
They will. They'll do that eventually.
All right. So before we move on, is there, for anybody, I'll go down the line, just one game that is missing for you personally that would just be like,
oh, you should have given us time to think about this.
Yeah, I'll start. Give you guys some. So this one game that would just be like, yep, this completes it for me. My childhood memories, everything's accounted for, and that would be Mortal Kombat 2. Would be for me. Since they seem to like
the no blood version.
There wasn't a no blood
on
version.
Mortal Kombat 2, they didn't do that though.
So yeah, that for me would have been like, full. This collection would have been complete. There's some games on there I don't care about, but there's not like all the ones I wanted are there minus Mortal Kombat 2. So anybody got another one or got one?
I have one. Dang it.
All right, Retro, go first.
Okay, because like Robert said, you didn't give a lot of time, but the first game that came to mind is they give this with 2 controllers. But I feel for 2 controllers, there's not that many games that have like real nice multiplayer options. Like it's like half and half maybe. Personally, what I feel that just this should have is the ultimate racing game, the best thing is ever made, and that's Rock and Roll Racing. That should have been on there. It's not as high caliber as some of the other games, but even the NES Mini had 1 or 2 games that were a bit like underground kind of shit. And I feel Rock and Roll Racing, like that is something like so many people have never experienced. They don't know of it, and it is like seriously, it is better than F-Zero on the Super Nintendo, at least for me.
Yeah, that
a great game.
Awesome. It has licensed music, so maybe that was an issue, but.
Yeah, it could be. Like I never expected it to be, but that is when you sit from the top of my head, that's the first thing that comes to mind.
And people in the chats name another good one, but Terrell, why don't you go next?
A game that I've always kind of been interested in, but never really felt the need to go back and play. But I always hear a lot of good things about this franchise in general. Is probably Pilot Wings.
Yeah, that'd have been
a good game. Yeah.
It's
interesting that one isn't on that. That is one of those Super Nintendo titles.
Yeah, that should have been there. Anybody else got one on the ready?
Well, for me, I'm surprised to not see like either Gradius or Super R-Type on here. I think that.
Yeah, those old school shooters.
That was just very Super Nintendo. Those games were,
and those are 2-player. The Gradius is.
And they're 2-player. Yeah. So
Life Force was my favorite. The Gradius 2.
That was really good stuff. So
is there a Konami game on here? Yeah, Castlevania.
Yeah, there's a Castlevania. There's a
Castlevania. Yeah.
I don't own the NES Mini. Wasn't Gradius on that one?
What? On any NES?
On the NES Mini, wasn't Gradius on that one?
No, I don't think so.
I don't remember.
No. That's what I thought.
This would be cheating, but like Ninja Gaiden Trilogy would be nice. But that's 3 games, so it's not really.
I don't think that was ever on.
Yeah, it was. I had it, and I'm so sad that I traded it.
Can you say
Ninja Gaiden Trilogy is a game for Super Nintendo came
Okay.
out.
Seriously?
Holy
Yeah,
cow!
it's probably
Is
like
that like
300 bucks.
All Stars, like nice visuals and shit?
Yes. Well, no, they didn't really updo the graphics or anything. It's just the trilogy NES graphics, basically.
Okay,
And
so
somebody
I've,
said Gradius is on the NES Classic, so
Oh, it
it
is.
is.
Mhm.
Wow,
Yeah.
that really shocks me. Okay, so I've got a couple here because I'm a cheater and I just am cheating. So MK2 was a perfect one, Juice, because that also just so goes back to my childhood and my friends. And even the Ultimate MK3 that was released was really good. I've been dying for Earthworm Jim, so just I wish this freaking game was on this thing. Also, right? Come on, man. You know I will give you some Earthworm Jim so badly. 1 or 2. Final Fight is another big Capcom one that was a great game, a beat 'em up on the Super Nintendo. Killer Instinct, I think the Super Nintendo version was not too bad.
I wanted to say
that one's
Killer
going to be too
Instinct.
hard
I
because
think
it's
it's copyright
Microsoft now.
issues with that, probably, maybe.
Oh, it's a good point.
Yeah,
it's
it's
funny.
Microsoft.
There is one rare game, not rare as in hard to find, but rare. Donkey Kong. So,
Yeah, that's true. But
well,
that's a
but that's
Nintendo
Nintendo's
license,
IP.
though. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last one, I mean, this one I'm surprised isn't on it, is Chrono Trigger.
Chrono
Yeah.
Trigger.
Yeah.
How is that not on this? And I've
I
never
think with
played all those
Earthbound
games.
and RPG, they were like, that's.
Secret of Mana and Final Fantasy 3. I mean,
But like,
There's
I
got to be a reason for that.
maybe there's gonna
I
be
think, yeah, it was just like, all right.
maybe there'll be differences with the Japanese one. Maybe they'll have Chrono Trigger.
That's about $600 in
Could be.
carts.
yeah.
If you were to buy those today.
I'm cheating and looking through a list of like just a random top 100.
Nobody
SNES
mentioned
games list.
Turtles in Time.
Oh, good call.
But wasn't that
Who owns it now? It's just like,
So
who?
all those Turtles games were good in the
Are those
SNES
are-
era.
Yeah.
Also, all of the Disney games were really good.
Well, they got
So-
that collection coming.
The
Well, not to
Konami,
the
like-
Oh,
Switch.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Not to the
Uh-oh.
Switch.
And then Juice, sorry, not Juice. T, I do see the Ninja Gaiden trilogy. You're totally right. That does exist.
Yeah, it's
Number
I had
29
it
on
because
this list.
I'm so salty that I traded that game in because I know it's super expensive right now.
The Breath of Fire games are supposed to be classic RPGs.
Mhm.
The Ogre Battle was another big one, I think.
That's more
So,
Capcom love.
So,
Yeah.
Robert, did you?
I was gonna cheat also and say Super Mario All Stars.
Yeah, that's a cheat.
That's
It's a good cheat,
The
though.
other one is kind of rare because they never re-released those they bumped the
That is
visuals
true.
up, and we've never seen that on the Virtual Console or anything. It's always
Well,
been
no, we
the
saw it on the
original.
Wii.
Get it on
Remember
the Game Boy Advance.
No, remember the Wii?
Yeah.
They re-released Super Mario All Stars.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
That.
they had that.
Well, yeah, they did
Yeah,
have that.
they
They
did.
had that
That
pack.
is
yeah.
true. That is true.
It was like an anniversary.
Yeah, I have that. It came with like a CD with a
And
bunch
it's
of
not that
music.
expensive still. I don't think.
No, yeah, you could still probably buy for like $20.
And the thing is, for me personally, like I only have 3 of these games on a Virtual Console. You know, Wii U, Wii, and then actually, yeah, because I got Donkey Kong Country 2. I never got the original, and then I have 3 of these games still physical on a Super NES cartridge. Actually, 4. Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah, 4. So it's not like the NES where a lot of the games already had.
Trash.
And so for me, I think I'm gonna try to get one, but it might just be a casual effort or a nonchalant. You know, like
No, you're gonna
I'm
try
gonna go to
hard
the
because
store.
you have to get me one if I don't find one.
I might go to like a store at midnight. I don't know. We'll see. But
I actually
This
thought
is
of
just-
because Robert he gave like 100 games. There's actually 3 games that I still thought of, but they're all RPGs that I'm surprised aren't on there. And that's like for me that used to be my trilogy on the Super Nintendo. And that's like Terra Nigma, Secret of Evermore, and Illusion of Time, which for you guys I think is Illusion of Gaia, which are all 3 like,
Oh, yeah.
masterpieces.
The guy, it was great. Yeah.
I think, didn't that become The Legend of Gaia on PS2? Is that part of the same saga there, or do you not know?
I think
I
that's
don't
the
know.
same game. I don't remember. They just renamed it.
Probably.
you know, it would have been a nice game. You know, we already got Star Fox and Star Fox 2. Why not just complete the FX chip trilogy here in Stunt Race FX?
Well, they got Donkey Kong. That's also part of the FX chip.
Was it? Well, they never advertise it like on the box art.
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
true. And it wasn't like Mode 7 graphics like the other games were. So
Yeah, and
I
it
think
literally
that's-
Stunt Race FX. You know, it's an obscure title and it doesn't hold up as well in this day and age, but I think it would have been a cool.
To tell you the truth, I'm actually really
21.
nervous.
That's weird. Did they just like add Star Fox 2 at the
I
last
think
minute?
it's the Star Fox thing. Yeah,
I think
it's
so
exactly
too.
that,
I
yeah.
think that's what happened. 21. That's just really weird.
It works though because you're like, oh, 20 games plus this never before released game. Like it's just it kind of for that way work. Like in my brain, I'm like, okay, that's cool. I get what you did there.
I think it was initially the idea, but I know Dylan Cuthbert is somewhere smiling right now because I felt for the dude. Shameless plug. I made a freaking mini documentary about Star Fox, and I talked about the original producer and creator and stuff of that. Dylan Cuthbert is his name, and he was very saddened to hear that it was canceled. Basically, for the N64.
Maybe he's gonna make maybe he'll make royalties from this.
Maybe he had something to do with working on this because he's been working with Nintendo since then. He started his own company, and he actually helped out with Star Fox 64 remake on 3DS. 3DS.
Oh, okay.
I think I might
Still
go
around.
I think I'd like the European version of this.
Of course
The
you do.
Famicom
It's pretty
look,
damn
or-
cool.
Yeah,
Oh, the Famicom. Yeah, it was very cool looking.
I was trying to find a Japanese version.
it's pretty cool. But like, I'm just honestly because I grew up with the regular with the Western Super Nintendo. Like, I'm cool with that one.
With the yellowing at the bottom.
Yeah,
Does
they
it-
should have made it yellow. Really cool.
On purpose.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm actually. You talked about like Stun Race FX and it aging or whatnot. I'm actually a little bit worried, like specifically because the Star Fox thing is getting so much attention. That some people, like maybe the younger gamers who never played them, might be really excited, and then they're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Like it's so slow and it's so blocky that people might not be able to appreciate it the same way. Maybe.
So, Terrell, since you never really played Star Fox like that, but you like Star Fox Zero, right?
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool because the walker from Star Fox Zero is in no other Star Fox game other than Star Fox 2, which never got released.
Yeah, I knew that because I heard. I think I heard you guys, and I've seen videos of people talking about it.
It was like Miyamoto's like favorite thing. He was like so into that idea.
Loved that.
He loves chickens, man. He loves chickens.
He loves his chicken walker.
He loves chickens and forest elf kids.
That sounds so wrong.
It does sound kind of messed up.
Hey, y'all
It sounds like some pedophilia
Take it
shit,
to
man.
a bad place.
Y'all took it to a bad place. That's not where I was going with it.
Hey, man, I like how short your tunic is, boy.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's too dark. This podcast is rated NC-17.
All right, let's move on. We spent quite a bit of time on the NES, Super NES Classic.
The big
It's
piece
exciting.
of
There's nothing
news.
else to talk
It
about. So,
Yeah, I'm going home. Bye, guys.
aren't you already home?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm gonna stay.
Got him.
It's like, where you at right now? He's hiding in the bathroom. His girlfriend's like, where you at, Rob?
You win.
So let's talk about something. And Rob made a great point, and then I caught most of your video earlier today. Earlier in the week, you were just like, man. Not a week ago, people are so excited about how great a Nintendo's E3 was, and everyone was all on the Cloud 9 and stuff. And then just how quickly that turned. So I just want to talk about some of the good stuff coming up for the Switch, and why I'm still excited and I still love the Switch. And we don't really have to go into the whole negative and debates and all that crap. But I want to start with ARMS because I know Robbie finally got to play it a few days ago.
Finally.
I played it every day that it's come out, and it's just every time I play it, I just love it more than I did the time before. Like, it's just so awesome. And I don't know that it's getting quite the credit. I mean, I feel this is easily in the 9s for, like, if I was going to review it and give it a score. But the Metacritic 77 and the user score is 79. So I was pretty shocked by the user score because I'm just absolutely just obsessed with this game. And I really don't even have many complaints other than the cheap CPU on level 6. I'm just loving this game. And I wish it told me how much time I had on it, because it just says last played 9 days ago. I know I have about 15 hours in it.
It's so weird when it does that.
I know, it's stupid. Just it's just
Just
weird.
do what you did on the damn Wii U. God dang it.
Yeah.
You're asking for too much. We don't talk about that console.
That terrible console, the Wii U.
And it just got a update which added one thing in particular really cool, which is basically you can do ranked battles, like the ranked battle setup with 4 friends. You can 4 friends in a lobby, and 2 people just one-on-one. They get 3 best of 3, 2 out of 3. So you get to switch arms in between. If somebody bested you, you get a chance to switch arms and try a different strategy. And then the other 2 people can watch. Well, I didn't see an option to spectate. Terrell, you said there was one. I was in a lobby with Nintendo Ultra. We were waiting, and I couldn't find a way to watch the 2 people playing.
Yeah, there is a way to spectate apparently, because even Nintendo tweeted it. So
yeah, none of the buttons.
Yeah, there's I'm gonna mess around with it because I never got I saw that Ultra was on that night, but I couldn't get in because they lowered the amount of people who can be in.
Yeah, you can have 4. I was in it, and I sat there, and then I realized it was 3, a best of 2 out of 3. And I'm like, I can't figure out how to watch, so I backed out. But just for me, like, I think this is, I feel better about this game after week than I did Splatoon. For me, this is a better new IP for me. Even though once Splatoon got all the stuff later down in the August update, it definitely got better. But for me, this is a better game, a better new IP than Splatoon was on the Wii U 2 years ago. And I can't get enough of it. I just absolutely love it. So, if you guys don't feel the same or whatever, that's cool. But how you guys, Rob, let's go to you since you haven't really talked about ARMS. How are you feeling about the game? What do you think? How much time you actually have in it? Just give people an idea.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the unfortunate thing is I really have not had an opportunity to play it too much, which is a shame. I mean, the day it came out, I worked. I had a concert to play that night. My folks were in town the next day for a whole week. So like all of my time after work for a whole week, we were like going to see them where they were staying in town and stuff. And the little bit of time I've been playing so much Metroid. But like 3 days ago, I was like, screw it, man. I have to open this game and put it in. Like I was always so excited to finally play it. And I had a chance to go through the Grand Prix a little bit and really kind of sink in. And I mean, Robert and I played it back in New York in January. And then, of course, I did the test punch. Like, I think I did 2 different hours of the test punch. So I already knew I was going to like it. I understood what the game was. And finally being able to like sit down on my couch a couple of nights ago and give myself like an hour, like nonstop to just play it like I would normally have otherwise been playing it if I didn't have all that crap going on. It's like, I mean, it's honestly, Juice, I think I have to agree with you. Like, I think that this is a more exciting game. The little bit I've played, to be fair, way more exciting and interesting than what Splatoon felt like at first. Because Splatoon is a phenomenal game for what it is, but I struggled from the get-go with the multiplayer issues of the map rotation. Like, that was the first time I turned it on and realized how that worked. I realized I don't like this. And it was a barrier from the get-go to an otherwise really good game. And like with ARMS and how freaking cool the Grand Prix, like you guys kept talking about it in the chat for like a couple of days. And I was like, man, I don't know what this Grand Prix thing is. Like everyone's playing it. Maybe there's racing and I don't know about this. What is this thing? and I finally did it and I saw what it was. And there's like different ways to fight. Like I did the volleyball thing and then there's a shoot the target thing to defeat your enemies. And I was like, get out of town. This is so fun. I can't believe it's more than just fighting. And so you start to settle into how deep the mechanics are and everything. So, I've probably played a total of like 3 hours in my entire life of this game. Not very much, I admit it. And I'm jealous of you guys with how much you've been able to play so far, but it's great. My guess is that I think it's probably a better game than Splatoon was. And, my schedule is freeing up soon and maybe I'll stop playing Metroid sometime and I'll actually let myself really dive into ARMS because I think it's great. And you mentioned the user score, like it's tough. It's tough to gauge those things, but I feel like a 79, it's probably lower than we might feel, but I don't think that's like a terrible score considering it's a user score and those things are usually garbage anyway.
Well, I mean, for games that maybe the critics didn't like, sometimes the users are like way higher. And I kind of expected this to be in the mid 80s or something just before I went. I don't go to Metacritic. I only did it just I was curious
to check up on
this situation.
I mean, I kind of thought it was in the 80s. So when you even said 79 or whatever for the Metacritic, that surprised me. This can't possibly be a 70s kind of game, but it is what it is. I think it's freaking awesome. The little bit I played.
All right. Anybody else? I know Retro Death still hasn't got it. I can tell you right now, the grabbing is not a problem. I know that was your big hurdle. It's just not a problem. It's pretty easy to dodge now that you play that CPU. If you can beat level 5 of the Grand Prix, then you're gonna be pretty decent at the game, I think. And the grabbing really isn't. People try it, but I love it when they try it because I just keep jumping and hitting them.
Yeah. I gotta say, I feel like I got.
Or
really
just
good
throw a
really
punch.
Yeah, throwing a punch is also great.
Yeah,
great way to block. Unless they're above you. If they jump above you, then they got.
Well, but don't you have to have like a heavy arms equipped?
No, every punch. Every punch
Anyone
counters
punch.
a throw.
Oh, wow,
yep.
sweet.
And then you can throw like I'll throw the punch to stop the grab, and I'll counter it. With a right. Or something.
The fighting mechanics are so good. I can't believe the more I played to the Grand Prix, I was like, this is insane.
The chess match, when you're playing another person that's like, you're pretty equally skilled, then it becomes a chess match of trying to set them up. Like, I don't want to give away a strategy, so I won't say a specific one. But there's
like that.
I was playing against somebody, and I could do something, and I knew it was going to make them do something, and it was so cool when I realized that I had this person's number, and I was just like, yep. And so I mean, there's that kind of stuff. The CPU, like I said, is cheap when you get up to the higher levels, but then when you go to play the people, it's like you realize how much better you've gotten, and I think that's a cool thing, just like with any game. But most of the time, like Smash and stuff, the CPU plays like so cheap, and it does that in ARMS. I haven't tried 7. I'm guessing that's gonna be terrible, but it does teach you how to avoid things and how to win against a tough opponent that's not gonna throw punches constantly and wait for you to throw punches, and it teaches you, which is really cool, that the actual single player actually helps you, which you could say that about other games, but this one in particular. And then I also finally settled on a main character, so let's go down the line here, and we'll start with Terrell. Who's your main at this point, and how do you feel about the update? I don't remember what else there was. I don't think
they added land play. They fixed some slight spelling issues that were in the Grand Prix mode. And since the arena's a new MOBA, I think you can just spectate normal matches. It wasn't a lot of stuff. Like it was just. I think it was just mainly those things.
I read also like Kid Cobra or something who was broken as fuck, and they fixed a lot of shit with him.
Oh no, you're talking
just as a fighter, he was broken.
No, there was like a mechanic he could do that was semi-cheating, and that only worked in his level. I think I don't remember what it was.
I think it's the level that got to get fixed. It was the
level.
Yeah, because
his level. I hate it.
I turned it off like when I set the rules.
Forget that level
because it's broken. Because half your punches hit that stupid spinning disc.
Yeah.
So they worked on fixing his level, and they fixed Ribbon Girl's level, where certain arms weren't breaking the boxes that come up. Son of a bitch! I don't know what it is.
Voice explosion.
Yeah, I knew it was.
Oh man, arms is all capital letters. He was just pronouncing it properly.
But what I was gonna say is they fixed the issue in Ribbon Girl stage where where the blocks come up and you can break through them. Apparently, certain arms weren't going through the blocks, so they fixed that.
Really? That's bullshit.
Yeah. So they fixed that, and I guess Kid Cobras, it was something with the skateboards, what they call them. They're not fucking skateboards.
The spinning discs.
They're literally Beyblades.
Yeah, they would block 80% of the punches. Me and T or somebody we couldn't hit each other. It kept hitting the stupid base of that thing. And
y'all were just out for a stroll together. That's all it was.
Why are you yelling?
Y'all just out for a stroll together.
I seem to be having trouble controlling the volume of my voice.
And see, I still got to figure out what dictates that, because that shit just seems to happen at random.
No, there it is.
We love random. So, who's your main character after a week and a few days?
Honestly, I like Min Min, but I think Kid Cobra is probably my main, and Min Min's like my secondary.
Yeah, Kid Cobra's hard. I finally beat Nintendo Ultra with he's always Kid Cobra with those giant gloves, and I bet he beat me 5, 6, 7 times. Never even come close to, I think, half health. I think it's the worst he ever had, and I finally beat him couple. Was it that? Maybe it was last week. I don't know. We played after the podcast. It was sometime early last week. Finally beat him. Finally beat Robert a few times. So I was feeling pretty good about the game. So Robert, we don't have to ask you who your main character is. So
yeah, we obviously know it's Springman.
Of course.
It's of course my girl Min Min. I do love me some Min Min.
And I found a bit of a counter to your Min Min. I don't think I had beaten you since that Saturday after it came out. I might have beat you a couple times early on. I think you were just destroying me ever since. And then I switched to Twintel and her dual parasails, and I finally got you.
That's that interesting thing is that I was definitely having a problem with those two parasols, those umbrellas, whatever they are. I don't even know. And they're definitely a pain in the ass for this right then and there. But and then I use it.
I switched to a different arm easily.
Yeah. But yeah, Min Min's my main.
And then we even had a moment where I was Min Min too, and we were just trying different arms, and just for the hell of it, I kept equipping a different arm every match. I'd go in there quickly, select because I have about 10 arms maybe unlocked for her, and just messing around. It was just cool to try different things, which is another brilliant aspect to this game is how different the arms make a character in a battle with somebody. Like you were destroying me, I put on the twin parasails, all of a sudden it was neck and neck every time. Yep. And it's just how they balance that, and it's just so cool that you can just after the first round just quickly switch it up. And I'm a little annoyed with the whole I'm gonna wait till you make your final arms before I make mine, and people wait till the 1 second disappears and they quickly change.
Oh, I haven't even noticed that. I'm sure people don't notice that.
Yeah, you can see.
Why would you? You don't change them.
No, I see it, but I just I automatically
because Terrell does it.
I tried it.
What do you mean I do? Wait.
Thrown under the bus.
Dude, your character arms do not change until it says go, and all of a sudden your arms switch every time.
What?
Yeah,
maybe that's a lag issue or something.
Maybe
because he's sitting there with the stock arms or whatever. Match starts, all of a sudden he's got the trident and whatever the other arm usually is.
It's the freezing boomerang. I forget what it is.
Yeah, it switches on my screen. I'm looking at you. I'm switching, and you're stuck. And it's every time I try to wait longer, and I waited one time, literally the one was gone. I switched. The other time, I waited just a split second too long, and it gave me the arms I was stuck on. And then even when I do that, all of a sudden your arms switch as soon as it says go.
Well, maybe that's what the game just does, just so people won't do that.
Maybe.
Try to do
See,
that.
I'm gonna have to pay attention.
We'll have to. Yeah, we should test that.
Yeah.
Because
right
if it's a real thing, I could see that being something if people complained about it, they might patch that, and say that's a problem. So that they would change it so that you don't see the visual.
Because I can see people's arms changing. I see.
I've seen their arms change. Yeah.
People sitting there playing chess before the game starts and shit.
Yeah.
What are you picking? I can counter that with these.
That's very true. I never even thought about that. Yeah.
And I did want to mention something when you were talking about the reception of the game so far. Because the one thing I noticed, and I think this might be because I was looking at somewhat of the competitive scene to see how the competitive scene is looking at this game. And I think maybe one of the biggest problems with this game is not necessarily the gameplay itself. It's just the way it's presented in the sense that it's not super. Fuck y'all.
It ain't us. It's your mic.
I don't know what it is, but the game, from what I've been hearing from people who are I like the game, but it's not super fun to watch. I think it might be because we haven't got enough competitive players yet, but people are the biggest issue with the game so far is it's just not. It's a very slow paced fighter. It's all about watching your opponent and watching their moves and figuring out what they're gonna do and responding correctly to it. And I think maybe people like the more fast paced games, so it doesn't hit the same level of appeal as something like Street Fighter or Marvel vs. Capcom does.
I don't know. We'll see when actual viewers come in for the tournament scene.
Tekken's not fast paced, and they have a tournament scene.
Well, I mean, yeah, true.
I agree that there's a lot more strategy.
It's new. I mean, it's a new.
Yeah,
but I mean, I loved watching the tournament at E3.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I
I
got
yeah.
into that.
Yeah,
Well, I see.
I was looking at like Twitch streams.
You're
No,
probably
I
right. I
see
mean,
what-
that's
I see
probably
what-
part of it.
I see
Go
what
ahead, Rob.
Terrell's saying. I think that there is. I think that the game could definitely struggle to kind of find a way to look appealing to other, especially people who aren't like already Nintendo fans like us. It doesn't have the same kind of grab you motion that something like, you know, most other fighters or something fast paced has. And I learned this like with my younger brother, who is a Nintendo fan and who does have a Switch and loves it and is very happy with Nintendo right now. But I asked him if he got ARMS, and he's like, I have the zeroest of zero interest. And I was like, bro, like, you don't know why you're missing out. And I had to kind of talk to him and explain, like, it
Has he
just
watched
visually,
it though? Because
I think a little bit. Like he just struggled. I mean, the game just didn't look appealing.
didn't grab
Probably
him right
seeing
at the
That's
gate.
interesting because you know what? There's one guy that I work with that he is only like an Xbox person, but he for some reason that's like the game that he's really looking at. He's like, ARMS looks godlike, man. I want to get that just
well,
for
that's.
ARMS.
I think the blessing and the curse is how different it is, and it
Yeah.
depends on who you are. With
Yeah,
my brother,
I
I
think-
tried to explain it. I was like, okay, dude, like you love Smash Brothers, right? He's like, yes. It's like, okay, well, Smash Brothers is so different from every other fighter, and that's what makes it good, right? Well, ARMS is the same thing. It's
I
just
would tell
another
him,
way to change it up.
suggest that the finals of the tournament, because
To watch,
like
those.
I wasn't excited about the game. Then I saw the Treehouse play it on January 13th. I was like, that looks interesting. But watching, I'd already played it at the point of the E3, but the finals, like, because that's just, you know, the final two guys, obviously.
Mhm.
And that was some really intense, and I thought that really made the game look exciting. So I'd be curious
Definitely.
if he's not seen a lot of the gameplay. He just didn't even-
I know not to the level that we have, for sure he has. And I think what a lot of people, and again, even my brother as a Nintendo fan, like a lot of people I think focus on the goofiness and the people swinging their arms to use the motion, which
Yeah.
still has a negative connotation to it to a lot of people, unfortunately. And I try to explain, like, dude, you don't need motion. Like, it's actually, and I learned this the other night, it's actually great without motion too. I was
Yeah, it
surprised.
really
Like,
is,
it plays solid. So
As
I
somebody
think
who-
that's the barrier.
As
Go ahead.
somebody who really doesn't like watching like Let's Plays and that kind of shit, when you have like fighting games, for example, let's take Street Fighter or Smash, I'm watching that. Oh, he's doing Hadouken, he's gonna block. Hadouken, he's gonna block. He's gonna this move now. With Smash, you know, oh, they hit him out of the edge. Oh, they're gonna stay at the edge now. They're gonna hit. They're gonna stay at the edge. They're gonna hit. It is so predictable. And the thing I like about ARMS is that what people don't get there is there's so much strategy involved. It is fun to watch because you're thinking with the player, okay, he has this arm and that arm. What should he do? How can he move? What's gonna happen?
Definitely.
It is so unpredictable because everything that is Street Fighter and Smash, it is just predictable. There's a specific set of moves you always do against something.
Here's the
You know what?
question. Here's the question I want to ask you guys. Sorry, T, real quick. Is if you guys think it's easier for people who've already played it to enjoy watching it as opposed to people who never have?
it could
'Cause
be.
maybe that's my one thought. Maybe.
I did enjoy like that first time I saw it on January the 13th Treehouse. That's when it was like, wow, this actually looks really cool. And then I played the test punch and then watched the tournament. So maybe you're right. Maybe having played it made that make me appreciate the tournament that was going on. And they were all forced to use motion, so it was a level playing field. But then to see the developer, how just easily he destroyed the dude with, you know, and that's when I was
Without
like
jumping all around and
yeah, he barely jumped, and I try to do that. It's so hard not to jump though, because some characters just their dash isn't good enough. But let's get to T. Have you changed? Do you have a main character at this point?
yeah, I want to continue on what you guys are talking about there, but you know,
that's
my mains continue to be Ninjara and Min Min. Actually started really liking Min Min. I wasn't even able to beat level 4 without switching to her, so she's definitely a character that I can gravitate to and helps me out in some of the harder fights and whatnot. But yeah, to continue on what you're saying, I think Rob's right for the most part. I think it's mostly the visual of, you know, people using motion controls to play the game, and a lot of people have like a kind of negative connotation with motion controls. But I think another thing is, as a former semi-competitive 90s arcade fighter, I think it's the fact that there's nothing special about a special. There's no specials. And you know how in most fighting games, every fighter has their own special, and that's just like a part of their thing. And in ARMS, it's just everybody does pretty much the same thing with the.
Well, their special is their attributes without not punching attributes like Min-Min's kicking away punches.
Well, no, I mean like the
Mechanic is
actual
floating.
special move.
Yeah.
You
You mean like there's no Hadoukens?
Basically, yeah, like I'm talking about maybe like the finishing move, because a lot of people use the what do they call it? The charge
Final
shot,
smash?
charge punches, whatever. A lot of people use that as a final, attack, to clear the, beat their opponent with. And so that is kind of the special, that's the special move. And everybody's special move is the same. It's the charge punches.
The rush you're talking about?
The rush, right. And, I think that for a game that has so much character, kind of takes a little character away. It's like you would like to see something special happen when, not to keep using that word, when Twintel attacks, she does something particular to her thing, and everybody, So
that's an interesting take, because, like I said, each character has their special.
Yeah, everybody has their special.
Not punch
like they're
related,
individual.
It's their Twintel's floating and Ninjaro's disappearance. Mostly their way they maneuver.
I just meant like in Smash Brothers, Final Smash is very distinctive.
Yeah,
everybody's is distinctive, and the what are the I
rush?
can never remember the rush. Jeez, the rush attack or whatever.
Well, it's the same idea, but different arms have different.
Yeah, right.
Do different things, but anyway, that's an interesting thought on it, because as somebody who has played it, I don't think of it that way, but maybe somebody who's not played ARMS watching it, maybe that would be something.
I'm just saying, as a former, again, semi-competitive fighter, arcade guy who used to go and battle out in arcades in the 90s.
Good time.
That's how I gravitated to certain characters, because of their special. That was a big part of it for me. So I don't know if players today feel that same way, but to me that was a
good pair of ass.
A nice set of cheeks, and then
I actually settled on a main character that I wasn't even using at first. Like, I don't even know, really. It was just one of those, well, I'll try this character, and freaking Ribbon Girl is my main character by a long shot. Like, going to my next, like going down to Twintel or Min is just such a huge step down in my skill level. It's crazy. And it's hard to switch back and forth between Twintel and Ribbon, because Twintel's is her dash makes her hover, and then Ribbon Girl you can jump 4 times, so it's like a completely different button. So I have trouble going back. But last night I tried ranked battles a few times. This weekend I got up to like level 2, and which isn't much. I won a few. So last night after the update, I was like, yeah, I'll just go into ranked battle. I'll see what I was at a 2, and I got up. I was like 1 win away from going to 3, and then this person JoJo comes in, and Ribbon Girl. He was Master Mummy, and I beat him easily 2-0. And then he switched, and I was like, I'll switch this time. So we were both Twintel. I barely beat him. And then if you just hit continue and that person hits continue, it immediately says rematch. So I was like, all right, he rematched again. So he was Twintel, and I stayed Twintel again. He beats me, and I'm like, all right, now we got something going on. I'll go back to Ribbon Girl. I hit continue, rematch. So we went on like this for about 8 or 9 matches, the same person. And I started at the early level 3, and I ended at like mid 5, and he stayed at a 4 the whole time. So he was just kept coming back for more punishment. But I finally switched to Min, like I was saying earlier, and he beat me 2 times in a row. And I switched back to Ribbon, and again I'm 2-0 in him, like every time. So for me, it was cool. That it's so easy just to rematch somebody if they want to, and we just had this. A little, I don't think it was a half hour, 20 minutes or so, just going back and forth. And I think I ended up 6 wins to his 3. So, I mean, it was competitive, but still it was nice to win. And like, I could go back on my recent, I could add him as a friend. I just turned the system off right after got done with that. But it was just so cool. Like I remember people asking about that in Wii Sports Club. You remember that disaster?
We don't talk about that game. We don't.
Where
talk
you'd
about
fight
that
somebody, you'd have an awesome match, and it was just kick everybody out and search for just like another random. And that was one of the things people were saying. Well, why can't you rematch somebody? Why can't you rematch if you had a good game? So that's a cool little addition. Or you can just search for next player. Let's say if somebody was just playing like a dick, grabbing constantly, or just you felt like you weren't going to win, or it was, you know, you didn't want to keep playing, you can just search for another person after that. So just a cool little thing last night. Kept me on an extra 20-25 minutes after I was going to turn it off. And like I said, it's cool that you can have those moments. And, you know, for me, having voice chat in that situation wouldn't help, but for some people that could have been a way to meet a friend or something.
Yeah, I've added people on my friends list through doing matches.
Did you ever? Yeah, I've added a couple people through ARMS just because they came into a lobby, they were friends with you or Nintendo Ultra or somebody, and that's a cool way. Just go to recent players and send a request, they accept it. You know, I have only used my friend code once on the Switch on launch day, so
but that's probably how I added Rob, because he's my friend on Wii U, since we can't seem to get each other's friend codes for whatever reason.
That was
to put it
Are
on
we not
Twitter.
on Switch?
Go check your friends list. I'm in there. I'm in there.
And
I
that's,
use it to put it on Twitter so and let everybody else put that shit in, because I'm not doing
that's,
I didn't put mine. I don't want mine all public and stuff.
that's a good segue there, because the next thing I want to talk about was the update that happened last week while we're on air.
Oh yeah.
And now that we actually got to use it, that was one of the big things. Like I added people that were friends with on the Wii U that just never got around to on the Switch, and it was just so easy. Just go to your Wii U icon and it shows you the friends that have a Switch that you haven't added yet. So it was like 4 people. So I just sent them all friend requests. Just it was instant and slick as hell. That was just one little thing. The on-screen notifications. Terrell, online, ARMS. I was like, cool. Like, it's cool to know that. I'm probably going to switch it to just best friends, you know, whatever that option is, and then make sure we're all set that way, because sometimes it's a little distracting. But those 2 things I think were cool. And then the, you know,
Wow,
wired,
you're not kidding. I'm so sorry to cut you off. I'm turning my Switch on now to check that.
you
And I
probably
just
have.
got the thing that says 11 friend requests.
Yeah.
Because everyone found me, I guess, through
Yep,
that. So.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I turned mine on. It was
funny.
like 38. I was like, come on now, come on.
But that's also how you find out your other friends had Switches, because it's like,
Right.
Yeah.
oh, I didn't know you had a Switch. All right, that's cool.
It's a cool little thing. So that was a nice addition. Even 3DS too. I mean,
Yeah, that tripped me out when I saw that.
and it just worked so easily.
Yeah, because people found me through Fire Emblem Heroes, and I was like, oh, well, all right. Then I didn't know you had a Switch. Yeah.
Yeah, there's Terrell. I don't know, Terrell, if I'm going to accept you or not. I mean, I don't know what you're thinking.
I'll find out. Listen, I can literally pull the thing out of the dock right now and see if you've accepted it or not. I will know.
Why not? I'll do
We don't
it.
have enough slots.
I'm JK. I'm JK.
Oh yeah, because we have like what 300, right?
Yeah, it's like 300. That's not enough, man. We need 10,000.
I'm not as popular as you
100
guys.
myself, so.
Because
So,
you're so popular.
Anything
Oh,
else about the update anybody can think of? I mean, I trust
The
This is
find the
the word.
controllers.
Well,
Oh, yeah. that one too. Go ahead.
That
Terrell.
was yeah. I was gonna say that one. That one's pretty cool because I said, you know what? For the hell of it, I'm gonna pretend like I lost my controllers, and that vibration.
Whoa.
You know, sad thing is, I heard that one through the echo on somebody's.
damn.
And you know what? Maybe if I'm gonna sit far away from the mic. Maybe that.
Rest in peace, eardrums.
Yeah, do you just get excited, get really close?
No. I usually just sit close to the mic anyway. But I guess
His mic gets excited. That's what happens.
Mhm.
Oh Jesus! But yeah, I tested to find the controller's functions, and it's weird because the vibration you would think makes a lot of noise, but like I guess because it's vibrating against stuff in the controller, it actually gets pretty loud. And they have like the cool feature that it won't really work if you're too far away from the controller. So you can kind of narrow down where your controller is in your house.
You can literally find your. I didn't even know that was a thing.
You did that
Yeah.
on air. Remember when it was buzzing in the microphone?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what that was. That's what that was.
That was me messing around with it.
Oh,
So you can carry your Switch around the house and.
That's so cool. That means you can make like a scavenger hunt or something like for Easter.
Yeah, because I think it's like as long as your controller has been hooked up to your console like once, it recognizes it. So even if it isn't on, it actually turns your controller on.
That's crazy.
That's
Can't be
very
dead,
cool.
obviously.
Well, yeah,
If you're dead, it's screwed.
And side note,
Wait, that was backwards.
Robert of Gaming With Me is on the Switch notification news under the ARMS tournament. They have round 1
What? Really?
finals. So yeah, you're on the Switch.
Oh,
Robert
wait, really?
is
Hold
literally
wait,
on the Switch.
Wait, this is weird. I need to take out my Switch. Let me
It's
see.
just the YouTube videos, but
That's
they're
still
on
super
the,
cool though.
they're
That
on the
is pretty
Nintendo
neat, man.
news. Yeah, that's cool stuff. They added the channel
This kid is
specific.
lucky as shit.
Because it's new
And he has an NES Mini. Screw you.
Oh look who it is.
I was wondering,
Oh, yeah.
we had this design update now, and we still didn't get themes and everything.
Oh, that's
Do you guys
awesome.
think maybe they're keeping that to hook you up to online paying? Like once the
I
online stuff
totally
comes,
think
they're
that's-
linking into that.
Yeah,
I would cry.
That's what's gonna happen.
I would cry.
You know, I don't mind the theme. I'm not against it. I don't want it to be the 3DS model though, where it's like you pay $2. Like that's how.
Fuck that.
If they do that, for me, they might as well not do it because I'm not going to pay $2 for a theme. But
They're gonna do it like that for sure.
I would
think.
pay for a couple. There's 1 or 2 themes I might pay for.
I pay for a good amount of themes on the 3DS.
I bought like 4 or 5 themes from my 3DS, and I used one. I've never used any other ones. It's just a waste of money.
I'm about to say you don't put them on rotation. That's what I do.
No, I don't do that.
No.
I got the Link Between Worlds theme, and I just keep
that's
it.
one of those things that I hear people talk about a lot, and it's like it means
You're not gonna use that shit.
nothing to me. If they were free, it would be cool. Like if I could have a few more options that were free.
Well, with the 3DS, there were some free and some not free,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
they could do something like that. And that was even honestly like PlayStation
Colors should
3
be
was
free.
the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
colors
just
should be free.
More colors. That's. Should be
Yeah, but I'm talking mostly like this. What they did on 3DS when you have like a game like a Metroid thing, and you have like the Metroid theme in the background. That kind
Well,
of
yeah.
shit, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I have that. I have that for Link Between Worlds. I have the background for Link Between Worlds, but it plays like Legend of Zelda original music in the background.
Oh, cool.
yeah, that'd be cool. Like maybe it'd have to be something spectacular to throw $2 down on. Just because I don't know. It just seems
It's
silly.
cool. It's a cool little thing to have.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
wouldn't be
Nothing
against
like,
it.
oh, why aren't you doing this, Nintendo? Damn you! You know, it's nothing that serious.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about even like apps and stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff is cool. Should it be there? Probably. But like, is it ever going to affect my opinion of a console? Never.
no.
Like, never.
Where's my YouTube at?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice to not have to turn on my PS4 to watch YouTube on my TV.
Sure. And I
I want
think
my
YouTube
Super
would be great on the
Famicom
Switch.
skin.
Like,
Oh, sorry. What?
I don't know. What was that?
It's something that's great on the Switch. I didn't hear you.
Oh,
I was running my
yeah.
mouth.
Thank you, T. YouTube. I was like, it would look
Oh.
good on the Switch. Like, it would
Yeah.
be cool. But,
If it was the same quality as the PS4's YouTube, then I'd be
Yeah.
very happy because that looks great. As long as your internet signal's strong, like it looks.
Mhm.
As long as it looks better than those Nintendo videos.
See, I rewatched one. They're not as good as YouTube, but I don't think they're that bad. Like I think it looks great. And
Well, YouTube is already look. I deal in this shit all the time, so it really bothers me. I deal in like video quality and all that stuff, so it sticks out probably a lot more to me than most people.
I did notice it's not as good as YouTube video, like
which is
playing.
pretty sad. To me, it's kind of sad. But
So anything else about the update? I mean,
I gotta say,
well, obviously, everybody left this one out. This is the most important one. You can now emboss your icons
Wait,
due to negative.
I didn't know that.
You could do the negative.
Oh,
it does the game. It does the game itself. Like an actual. If you do the inverted colors, it affects the game.
Yeah,
Oh, does it?
yeah.
I didn't even know
yeah,
that.
it's the whole console. It's like
That's
literally
awful.
everything in it.
It's stupid. I don't know why.
I think it's just for people who have color or who have eyes.
No, someone said that doesn't work for colorblind.
Well, yeah, Rob
Even the grayscale one. I mean,
I don't know about the grayscale, but I'm talking about the inverted color where it just.
Well, the inverted color, I don't get it. I think it's just a funny, stupid thing you can do.
It's pretty stupid, yeah.
Oh yeah, the wire.
Whoa. That was louder than usual.
Because he jumped in with the and it was like 100. You know,
it was all Macho Man.
It's like level 150 on that shit.
Man, I'm Kool-Aid Man. Oh yeah.
We'll just blame it on internet.
I want some purple drink. Shit.
The Dave Chappelle joke.
Yeah.
So you ever see that Sunny D commercial where the white kid goes to the refrigerator, he's like, we got some OJ, we got some Sunny D, some purple stuff. Look at that black kid's face when he says purple stuff. The black kid wants that purple stuff.
He's like, ooh, what's that? I want some of that purple drink.
What is juice? I don't know what juice is.
Yo, what stuff? It's like, what the fuck is juice? Sorry, we went on a little tangent.
We had a little moment there.
And here,
actually, since we were talking about juice, it's the most accurate this podcast has ever been.
Boom,
full circle, motherfucker. Sorry.
Was somebody saying something? I forget.
Yeah, the wired pro controller. The thing we can now have our pro controller.
Yeah, too bad the stock cord's only like 5-6 foot, but
and the keyboard's official now, right? That's an official thing.
And
now, what are we gonna use keyboards for? Like, what would
the type?
Yeah, whenever we get to be able to type messages to each other
on our phones.
No, just for Twitter posts.
Yeah,
just now it works with Twitter posts.
Well, just putting in your every time you go to the eShop, you got to put your damn password in.
Well, here's the thing I'm going to say about that, though. Hold on.
Not anymore, though. I thought that.
Yeah, there's two things. One of them is it's become an option.
No. You're confusing it with the credit card thing. I'm not talking about that.
Type of password, though. I don't know.
No, I have to type in a password just to get into the.
Just to get the eShop, you got to type your password.
I don't.
No, you don't. You can change that in the settings.
Yeah, I don't think you have.
Yeah, that's lame.
Maybe that's because we have more than one user.
I got
no, I have two. I have two. I have my Japanese account.
Maybe because you have something turned on for parental controls.
The first time you enter the password, it allows you to tick a box. For me, at least, it did.
You could have like not. Oh, that's true. You ticked the box and you didn't have to type it anymore.
See, I like that though because the Switch is a portable thing, man. Like, what if you forget it or it gets stolen?
Forget it, man. Listen, that means
someone just like, oh, I can buy all these games on this person's
free games we get later on.
And just real quick, because Zobi70's asking if this is the gaming with me from the Splatoon tournament from E3.
The one and only.
The one and only, man. Yes, it is.
Well, not the Splatoon tournament.
I mean, the ARMS tournament. Sorry,
he only has two of them, man.
I wish I was in a Splatoon tournament. I think I could do pretty good in that, actually.
Yeah, this is.
We have a celebrity in our midst.
Yeah. You know, he wasn't famous, before. He's always been us, and then he became famous.
I'm just saying, it's pretty. It's kind of weird and kind of cool to just see myself on the Switch like that. It's pretty surreal.
Yeah, and it's cool that
I had to say it.
He's like, my movie is coming out next year, folks.
No.
He got a.
It's pretty cool.
Catch me on Blu-ray, Ultraviolet, baby.
But it's cool that a Sony fanboy was watching the ARMS tournament. That's cool.
What are you talking about, Zobi?
Zobi, he's a closet Nintendo fan.
Yeah, he ain't getting no Switch though. He keeps saying it, but he never gets one. So,
dude, it's not. I think he is trying.
I seen him in the store.
I mean, they're not easy to find.
I just seen him in the store, but
have you seen him in his store?
I don't know.
What the hell? You seen him in the store?
I was burned, not really burned, but there was a YouTuber I used to watch years ago kept saying she was going to get a Wii U for like a year, for like 3 years. She said it and finally you're not getting one.
You gotta let it go.
They were.
Doesn't she have a Switch though?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean
that makes you even madder, doesn't it?
It was so annoying. I'm waiting for this game.
You can see Juice in the back, like, man.
I'm waiting for Zelda.
On the crowd.
Zelda got announced. I'm waiting for Star Fox. Next year, Star Fox got to know.
Juice is over there
I'm
shaking
waiting
his
for
fist.
this. And it was like,
Yeah.
yeah, shut the fuck up.
You misogynist.
Damn, he laid the goose down on that one.
Juice is in the back just shaking his fist angrily at the screen. Damn you! Get the goddamn console!
And the
I've been
Wii
watching
was
your
not
bullshit
hard to
channel for
find.
3 years. You still ain't bought a Wii U.
You're ruining my expectations. Sorry.
She ruined it for everyone else because I unsubbed like right after that E3.
He
They announced Star
will draw a
Fox.
line in the
Nope.
sand quicker
Nope.
than anyone I know. He's like, game over.
So anyway,
It's like, how dare you?
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. To be fair, it is ridiculous. It's just also funny.
it was just it was one of those people built up their
I
channel
think-
on Call of
Juice,
Duty,
I would say Juice's reaction is funny as hell for all that.
and then
Because he was
it
mad.
It was so pathetic. It's like,
He
and
hot,
I was
boy.
mad at myself for kept believing it.
You get caught up in your feelings like she's lying to
Kept
me.
stringing you along. That's what
I'm
girls
just
do, man.
That's how she kept you going.
Just like a woman. That's just like a woman string a
That's what
man
they do,
along.
man.
Yo,
But anyway,
you know she's married, right? You better chill out with all that.
freaking- I don't know that much. How do you know?
Damn. Did you go to the wedding?
No. Apparently, she when I pulled up her name on YouTube in the search engine, the first thing that comes up is her vlog about getting married.
No.
Oh.
Well, you know, maybe she.
We spent way too much time on this person. Let's
That
move
was
on.
your fault.
You spent too much time on her, apparently.
I was gonna say, Juice, come on.
And first, seriously though, if Zobi is still listening, like,
He's not.
if you watch that ARMS tournament as someone who hasn't played it, if you were excited, like, it's even better to play that game. Like, so it's cool to hear somebody that doesn't have a Switch, not a typical Nintendo fan, actually watch the tournament. So I thought it was one of the highlights of E3 for me, which I've kept forgetting to talk about, was when the director just destroyed Zerk with Min Min.
The man who defeated your best friend and humiliated him on the internet.
And then when then he switched to Twintel to really show him, because Zerk played Twintel the whole time, and then he was Master Mummy the first time, and then I can't remember Yabuki or I think's his name. He switched to Twintel to show him, and then when he did that in the first match, when he did the grab into the rush off the trampoline, like the crowd, dude.
It was
Erupted. Like, what?
and I was there. It was loud, man. It was loud.
It was
epic.
literally that was the highlight of all of E3 for me. Above Metroid Prime 4 announcement was that moment, because the Metroid Prime 4 was cool, but
you
not
tripping now. You tripping now.
not
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
seen
you're
it
tripping.
for
But I
me.
also saw your reaction. You were like, "Oh shit, that's cool." Next game.
Yeah, like if they would have showed me the game, like if they would have showed me something, I would have had more. I would have had something to get excited about.
Yeah, I get it. That's fair. That's fair.
Just like
Which is really
CGI trailers don't excite me either. So
For me, to be fair, I like the Splatoon tournament a lot more because with Splatoon, you had people who, like, for months in the country, you're fighting everybody. So at the end, you had like all these teams that were like hyper pro, and it was
Like
so,
the best of the
so
best.
it was so dynamic and so intense, and I like that.
Yeah.
I was more invested in it than in ARMS, because with ARMS, like when Robert said he was in there, I was like, wait, I don't even know how this ARMS tournament is going to go along. I think like the last 5 minutes, we kind of knew more what it was going to be about, so I wasn't as invested, I feel.
Well, what I'll say is that
He wasn't as invested because you don't like arms. Just be truthful, man. Just
Spit it out. There's only one reason why I don't own a game yet, and that's money. That's the only reason.
well, it's
That's a good
excuse.
reason.
You
That's a
need,
good
you
reason.
need that.
do you guys think that ARMS could be in an Evo or another like major?
Shit, yeah.
I think so. I think it's for me, it's the best 3D fighter.
I mean, I haven't played.
I
as
think
much
you'll
as
see.
you guys,
sorry.
but no, it's okay. I would have to agree. Like again, like it's so deep. Like the strategy behind the gameplay is so deep. I feel like it could have a really good Evo life if they.
Yeah.
And Nintendo wants to do that, right? Like it just seems like that they're really into that right now with their games.
And then
Switch.
There's one
Nintendo
caveat
versions.
though. People are gonna go away from the motion and go to the controller.
Well, that's fine because everybody's
Yeah.
already playing with the controllers that other than T, I think it's the only one that was still using motion.
Wait,
No, I started using controller.
Okay. all
Because in portable mode, you gotta learn how to do that just because that's how you gotta play in portable.
Yeah.
And I think the wired
It's pretty intuitive.
Pro Controller edition is just another nod towards tournament players for this game.
Could be.
Oh, did I hear this right? That the Wii U to GameCube thing works now too?
Just one of them.
It's the third party one, not
the Mayflash one works because that has like a PC switch on it setting.
Okay.
Also,
And it doesn't work
playing it on GameCube.
Those tricky ass headlines you see.
Damn.
Although it doesn't work well with every game. It works. Well.
It works. The analog stick functions like a D-pad because it actually thinks it's the Pokken fighting controller.
Oh,
that just has a D-pad. So
Weird.
the analog sticks, you're using it, but the game thinks it's a D-pad. So
in other words, not really.
Are we going to talk Nyko accessories at all?
We can, but not right now.
Okay.
Real quick, do we want to talk about how well it sold, how well ARM sold it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I think it sold totally well
in Japan.
100,000. Great in Japan.
It's like the highest selling new IP fighter
in 7 or 8 years or something.
Yeah, in 7 or 8 years.
And
I was surprised.
Street Fighter and Tekken.
Yeah, smashed them.
Because I'd almost think the U.S. was going to be 100,000. The fact that Japan.
What was the U.S.? I don't think there's numbers there. Right?
I don't think they just tracked it. Right? That I don't know if it's the fact that it didn't so well. I think maybe the tracking hasn't came in yet. Or for
See,
US
I'm gonna look right now. I'm curious.
Yeah, because I didn't know what that game was going to do, but I definitely.
That might be another Splatoon situation where it's more popular in Japan than it is over here in the States.
But also Splatoon did really well here. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well,
it's still
more popular.
Technically sold more in the U.S.
It's equally popular. Like the sales are almost 1-to-1, which tells me because of the difference in.
Japan has a lot less people.
Population. It's more popular, like percentage-wise, but then Splatoon sold like 1-to-1 U.S. and in Japan, where the U.S. usually outsells it like 2-to-1.
And Europe too. Didn't it sell like the same in Europe?
Splatoon.
What?
Yeah, like
Splatoon.
A little bit. Yeah, it wasn't quite as good. And just 8 weeks before ARMS came out, VG Charts had the U.S. pre-orders at 71,000. Oh wait, no, that's Splatoon 2. Where's ARMS?
You don't even know.
55. So I think the
that's
US
not bad.
That's actually good. Yeah.
It's not great, but it's not bad.
Well, when you consider pre-orders only account for like 20% of what the actual
I didn't pre-order
sales are.
I mean, especially nowadays, because I assume that the online purchases probably don't count for those.
Yeah,
which a lot of people buy stuff online.
I'm gonna guess ARMS did close to 500,000 in those first couple of days worldwide. Maybe more like 3, but it's one of those things I wasn't sure what it was going to do, and if
it would be nice to see it be a pretty big success. And like one thing about Nintendo, man, is they can almost like create a success if they want something to be huge like that. Like, because I never would have guessed Splatoon would have been as big as it was. Like a small hit maybe, but not a phenomenon. And like they kind of manufactured that because their marketing and their advertising was so strong. And I think that they're trying to do the same with ARMS. So
I just want to say I called Splatoon early on. I went to PAX.
That's a big hit.
I did. Yeah, I went to PAX. I did a little video about it. And
I remember that. Yeah.
And I called it. I was like, this thing. My exact words were, I don't think we know how cool or how big this game is going to be. I think it's going to be pretty big. And then, of course, it was. So, Negro Damas.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect ARMS to be
I was trying not to laugh, and it's like, son of I knew it was coming, too. I knew he was going to say some shit.
Metroid Prime 4.
Shut up,
Call that. Just saying. Everybody else was like, nope.
Can we just take the cape off of him and shit? I think
that was a lucky guess, man.
Well, he's still saying 2018.
It would have been a lucky guess if I was guessing it every E3 up until now, which I wasn't.
He says 2018, and if he's not, you got to make a
don't forget 2018.
No way.
Fall of 2018 or holiday 2018. I don't know why you guys are.
This is not.
I don't know why you feel that way.
Maybe that might be their plan, but they'll delay a game to make it right. If that's why I wouldn't settle on. Even if they want it to be out.
I'm confident because the Switch to me the Switch is a different beast as far as that we had those delays and whatnot on Wii U a lot because one, Nintendo didn't know how to make HD games. Like they were learning on the job with HD gaming, and of course the different architecture issues. But they came out of the gate talking about they mastered Unreal Engine 4.
Sure.
Like this is going to be a different situation here. I feel
For
like.
me, it is more like
this game is farther along than we know it.
I don't know, man.
For me, it's like I think you overestimate how far they are, and you underestimate how much they want to do with it.
No,
yeah,
no.
I can.
Let me just say this.
I didn't wake up a Nintendo fan today. I've been paying attention to how they do things for a while.
Here's what's going to be the determining factor, because I think the if they use Unreal Engine 4 or something, they can make the game quick. But did they already have all the pre-production concepts, all that stuff? Was that all that stuff being done?
Bruh, like 2015, they were talking about. There was a rumor about who's the developers of?
Well, it wasn't a rumor. He said it straight up. If we were going to work on a Metroid game, it would be.
Yep.
No. I'm talking about the 3DS one, because the guys who pitched the 3DS one are the same guys who pitched the Wii U one, and Nintendo told them, no, we're not doing a Wii U one. But they were open to the 3DS talk about what they want to do for 3DS. The guys who made the Castlevania games.
Yeah,
Mercury Steam.
This goes back a couple of years.
Yeah,
so
that was
talking to him
in
about it back then.
2014. Yeah.
Well, but here's what's tricky about that though is Metroid is one of, sales aside, it's one of the big staples in Nintendo. So I feel like every single franchise they have, there's always a small smattering of talks about when the next thing will happen. So I would think at any given time there's a conversation about a next Metroid game, a next Animal Crossing, a next whatever. And maybe that's what that was, but I would think that there wouldn't have been.
It's too much of a coincidence, though. For both, we're talking
possibly
the handheld and the console. To me, that's too much of a coincidence.
But when you look at how soon Samus, when you look at how soon Samus Returns is coming out, and then the fact that Metroid, they only had that logo to show, and I know a lot of people say it's a good point. It's a very good point that isn't wrong when people say, "Hey, but Nintendo doesn't show stuff that's that far ahead." That's typically very true. But Metroid Prime 4 feels like it's not in that same wheelhouse. And look at how Breath of the Wild played out, for example. That was 4 delays over 5 years.
Why did Breath of the Wild take that extra year?
Sure, and
put it onto the Switch.
That is true. It is an X factor. But before we
and it's a Wii U game, by the way.
It was it was delayed like 2 or 3 years, and so many times even before the Switch confirmation. So it's like there was obviously a lot going on there. I just don't think that I don't think that they're averse to delaying a game like what they want Metroid Prime to be. So I've been thinking exactly what Juice was saying. I think there's a very good chance that they would like to launch the game next year, but I would be shocked if it could make that date. Q1 2019, though, like how they released the Switch in Q1 2017, that I could see. So maybe not holiday 2019, but I bet that becomes their first. They're really digging into this early in the year. Here's a bunch of games. Here's a brand new console. I see Metroid Prime being early 2019 than late 2018.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's
we're all guessing
possible.
here.
We're
it's
totally
way too far to even I wasn't even gonna bring that up until next year. The whole when do you think Metroid Prime's coming out?
Now we don't have to have that next year.
Let's talk about some games that are actually coming out this year, and we kind of did this earlier. I don't know, a few months ago, which games we thought we're getting on the Switch for sure. Some of these games are out now. And for some people, maybe this list will be too long, but I have a few that are guaranteed purchases at this point, and then there's some where we haven't even really seen enough of. So I just thought we could talk about some awesome games coming in the next 6 months for the Switch. That's, like I said earlier, Switch is still awesome. I mean, you feel what you feel about third-party games and all that drama. People want to focus on the negative, but the fact is the system's still a great system. The Japanese gamers are still waiting, 1,000 people in line trying to raffle so they can buy one. To win
the chance to buy one.
Yeah,
to win the chance to make it.
I've never heard of that.
That's
for
crazy.
Any consumer product before. So for me, Splatoon 2 is pre-ordered. Plus Mario+Rabbids is day one, Mario Odyssey day one, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and Rocket League. I want to say some other games that we haven't seen, like any footage of NBA, any footage really of Skyrim, like a little bit, I guess.
Mhm.
So for me, there's only those 5, and I didn't include Fire Emblem Warriors because nothing I saw really changed my mind on that game from me.
And that game still doesn't. I think that and Xenoblade don't actually have dates, even though they did say 2017.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
But for me, like,
I'm worried about those.
I got 5 games for sure that are all like, I mean, Rabbids might not be my cup of tea, maybe, but I think it will. The gameplay, just every time I watch it, look better and better. But the fact that Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, just those 3 games, like to get those all within like a 4-month span is just freaking incredible. Like you can't deny.
And they're all so incredibly different.
Yeah.
I mean, those games are so different from each other.
Yeah, there's like really nothing similar about them at all. And then Rabbids looks really cool. Rocket League looks fun for $20. I mean, that's pretty much a no-brainer. You can play cross-play with I know a couple guys have it on PC that play it a lot. So like for me, it's like with ARMS right now keeping me occupied, I just, that maybe doesn't sound like a lot to a lot of people, but there's indie games that are going to be in there too, and maybe another 1 or 2 retail games for me.
Ukulele, where you at, cuz?
Seriously, man, I want that game.
We're not talking about that game, all right?
Oh, Sonic,
Neither are Platonic. Oh.
Sonic Mania, Sonic Forces. I mean, there's a lot of games. So I think, what's the harm in still being excited for this system that's still awesome, still great, and still has great games coming. In the first 9 months, the lineup is just untouchable. Like nothing's ever come close in the first 9 months, in my opinion. Yeah. So, Terrell, what do you got for games that for you are like guaranteed at this point? For the
Splatoon 2 is already pre-ordered. Sonic Mania has already been pre-ordered for like months. Mario Odyssey day one. Mario+Rabbids is getting to that point where it's probably going to end up being day one because as a guy who enjoys RPGs, even if I haven't really played XCOM, the shit you can do just in some of the early footage in the game looks really cool to me. Xenoblade was going to be day one. Fire Emblem is day one. I'm trying to think, what am I missing? What game?
Skyrim. There's the NBA FIFAs. You got
Skyrim. I got to see more before I make a decision on that one. Rocket League is kind of in the same boat. I need to see footage of them running. And I was going to say Sonic Forces, but I've already heard about it only running 30 frames on the Switch version. And
I think it's the PS4 version on that one.
Yeah. I'm just with the PS4, but I'll get Mania on the Switch though.
Yeah.
I think that's all the major ones. I can't think of anything else that's coming out.
Yeah, there's like Rhyme supposed to be coming.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't care now. I legitimately don't give a fuck.
That game kind of landed.
Wait a minute, man. There's a fighting game that Nicholas is putting out that has
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name of it though.
It's like Blade something. It's like First Blade or something.
Oh yeah. That's right.
That one, it's like a bunch of their characters in it or something.
Yeah, because like they got characters from Cape Story and a few other titles they've done.
Huh.
That one looks pretty cool. I will probably get that. I think that's it.
Yeah, where the hell's Runbow? They need to port that to the Switch.
Yeah. Terminator Juice is salivating.
That game was freaking garbage.
It did pretty well.
It did, and I tried the party mode with like 5-6 people. They're like, why aren't we playing Smash? But anyway,
he's so mad about that.
Rob, since you haven't been on in a while, I'm pretty sure I know what games you're really excited about for this year on the Switch, but is there any that are guaranteed, right now you're buying, and if you can think of them? Go ahead,
the biggest ones, some of the obvious ones we've talked about. I am so over the moon for Xenoblade. I can't believe how good that game looks. I cannot wait. And Mario's obviously the gimme. I'm stupidly excited for Splatoon. That's been my whole weird thing. Like, I don't know why I'm so excited for it because I have those problems with the first game, but I don't know, man. I just really want that game on my Switch.
Well, the map rotation's 2 hours now.
Thank God, I know. That was a huge. That's a nice big step.
Single player seems to be super better.
Oh yeah, I am so excited.
And it runs in 1080.
Oh,
Whoa!
Not
all the
720.
P's are going to be in the game. I can't wait. I'm really excited. So those, and I mean, I'm already bought into Skyrim. I have no problem saying that because I already know I love it, and I'm excited to play it on my Switch. And Mario+Rabbids probably going to get, I mean, that's one where if the reviews turned out to be really not that good, I might be like, oh, okay, this one I will pass on.
Probably in the same.
Yeah, but I highly doubt that would happen. So that'll be interesting to see. I'm into Fire Emblem Warriors, so that's definitely one too. But I think, you know, the ones that jump most to mind are Mario and Xenoblade and Splatoon and Skyrim. I'm going to throw Skyrim in there. I definitely want that.
Cool. I'm hoping like NBA 2K, even though like I said I haven't bought one since 2K1 7 or 16 years ago, but the fact that they're just treating the Switch like equal as far as the special editions and stuff, if that game just is a good port and just runs good, like that would be cool for me. Like I would want, that's something where, you know, some people are like, well, don't buy a game you don't want just to support the third parties. Like that's for me, I don't have a problem since I don't buy that type of game all the time. It's been a while. And the fact that it is one of those things, they're treating the Switch owners equal. Like, hey, here's a special edition if you want it. I think it's not worth the money, not even close for Shaq, you know, all the Shaq stuff, but still it's cool. It's like that's, if you treat people like that, like we'll see what happens, you know. Maybe
it's a good point, and it's why, and I know that this is in a weird way the opposite, but I am going to probably buy FIFA to support that for like a similar reason, even though they're not giving us the exact same. But I see what you're saying. I think sometimes it's important to do that and send that message with your wallet. So
yeah,
my problem isn't so much with FIFA being I mean, they're probably doing the best they can with it, you know. So I'm sure.
I think that's gonna. I would be surprised if the Switch version of FIFA turns out to be bad. I feel like it's gonna probably be a good game. I really think.
I mean,
It looks like soccer.
But the thing is like it's first of all, it feels very corporate to me that they picked FIFA over like a Madden or even their NBA game.
Totally.
It's just because this had more mass appeal, so we'll sell more instead of just, you know, instead of also serving just the gamers. You know, that's why that bothers me so much.
Well, and to me, and I promise this isn't just my fanboyism talking here, I think Star Wars has a bigger mass appeal than even FIFA for a gamer.
Thank you.
So why that hasn't been a choice yet?
I'm just confused about FIFA in general, because FIFA really only appeals to the Europeans. Like, is it that big over here in the States?
That's kind of an area they need to try to get more people interested in Nintendo.
It's a numbers game they're playing with that game.
Yeah.
Don't be shocked if there's a Switch bundle with FIFA.
I wouldn't be surprised.
In
Europe
honestly,
only.
I want to see that. Not because I want it, but it shows that that the right business decisions might be happening. Like that would actually be a healthy thing to see.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Switches are selling out in all over Europe like that, but that would be a way to be like.
I'm pretty sure it is. Like you can't, if you go on Amazon UK, you still can't.
The stores are just as empty as in America.
That's crazy.
Because that's almost, you know, put FIFA in there or a forced bundle where you just basically paying full price, or make it $350. So you're,
but you know, it would also look like a really good bundle is Battlefront 2. That'd be a nice looking bundle as well.
Oh my goodness.
That I think would sell.
I mean, yeah, that would be awesome. A portable Battlefront 2. That would be
Jesus.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What's that game? I don't know what that game has for offline stuff.
The campaign.
Well,
they have the campaign. Like, I wouldn't even be upset if they say, all right, we're going to have to skimp on some of the multiplayer stuff online.
Yeah.
But you're still going to get the full campaign.
Yeah, if that campaign's like fully offline, then that
I'd
would
be
be
like,
great.
okay, I'll support that. But
I'd seriously buy it.
But I think people would be pissed off.
I'd buy it too.
Yeah, I'm sure some people would be, but I think some of the core fans might be pissed off. But I think if somebody walks into a store and sees Star Wars and Switch together, I think they'd buy that.
Dude, that would be huge.
That's why I'm genuinely curious about how well NBA is going to sell in Skyrim.
To me, I think before The Last Jedi, what you should have is Switch commercials of people taking Star Wars Battlefront 2 on their go, sitting in a movie theater.
I mean, come on.
Oh my God,
It
so
sells
much money
itself.
to make there. It's
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Well, think about that. I didn't think. Yeah, imagine they take their Switch playing Battlefront 2 to the theater to watch The Last Jedi. That's the commercial.
That's what I would have rather them like spend the special development time on trying to get that game instead of FIFA. So that was my biggest issue.
Boggles the mind. It boggles
very
the mind.
corporate. It was a very corporate decision.
FIFA's soccer's very popular in Japan and Europe. So I mean,
Right.
I get why.
Yeah, that's what I said.
FIFA's-
I know that's why they're doing it.
I'd rather have FIFA than Madden because I
I'd
never.
rather have Star Wars than either one of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think I agree with you though, Juice. I think I also prefer FIFA. If this was Madden we were getting instead of FIFA, I probably wouldn't buy it. Even though I actually love the NFL, FIFA is more interesting to me because it's not something I spend as much time on. And those games are typically, I think they review way better than even Madden games do.
The hands-on of the
So-
Switch version, everyone's like, "Oh, it plays so good. It's 60 frames per second. The controls are tight. They're responsive."
That's good to hear. I
So
really feel they worked hard on it.
I
All
just
you
feel
hear
like
is,
that's not going to have a big impact here. We live in the
No.
West. Like,
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
just not going to be a big thing here. And is
Yeah,
that
they
going to
need to
say something
complement.
about, yeah, is that, have another game, you know?
Have a game that complements FIFA. I mean, like I said in my juice opinions, I don't want Madden on there because I just don't like that they bought the NFL license and they just don't put out a product that's playable in my
We
opinion.
got to blame
It's
the
just-
NFL for that too.
Yeah.
They sold it exclusively to EA. So
I don't really. I'm kind of glad it's Madden's not on the Switch, but I mean that would be the US version of like FIFA is over in Europe. And
yeah, just
Japan.
imagine people playing Madden on the go, competitively
Mhm.
with switches, 8 switches together. I mean, that's a big thing. That would be a cool thing to see. That would
This
help
might
it
be-
sell here to a broader audience
This might be a
than
bit
Nintendo
controversial.
games can.
But I do feel when you take Madden into account and FIFA, let's forget because I don't like sports. My father watches soccer since his entire life. I don't give a shit. But let's take into account pure gameplay aspect. FIFA is just more fun to play than Madden when you're
It
with a
is.
lot of people.
Yeah,
It's
because
more
FIFA is
dynamic.
actually
Well,
really
that's kind of
fun.
subjective.
It's true, but Madden's just got so much more to learn. Like it's like when me and my buddies used to just play on Genesis and whatever systems that FIFA run. It's been out for since like '95 or whatever. And I remember just having a blast because it's so pick up and play. Whereas
Yeah, I mean,
Madden's not. For a
Yeah,
lot of
Madden, you
people.
gotta know football. You gotta know some
Mhm.
plays. You gotta understand plays.
Just picking plays
some
is a
degree,
turn
so-
off for a lot of people.
This is
Yeah.
why they created the greatest sports simulation of all time, NFL Blitz, to make it nice and easy.
Where's Blitz when you need it? Yeah.
Dude, that's
Fucking
what I've been saying every day of
Tecmo
my
Bowl
life.
needs to come back.
Yeah, you don't have to have a license to do. You could do football blitz. You don't have to
Oh,
do.
Sweet Moses, please.
I would love that.
God, we spent so
So,
much time doing that. Oh my god.
Retro, what games for the Switch for the rest of the year have you the most excited that you're getting?
I have about 6 or 7 games.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna say, for example, first I'm gonna start with that because I don't care, but my fiance really wants Mario+Rabbids. I don't care too much, but she really wants it, and I know we're gonna have fun playing it together. So I put it on the list, but I don't care too much. I have Skyrim, obviously. I put over 200 hours in that already, but
Yeah.
I don't have the HD version, and I've always wanted, and I could use this for that. I always wanted to play Skyrim and murder everybody in the world, and I'm gonna use that cookie to do that.
That's amazing.
Then I have like the standard shit, like Mario Odyssey, obviously, Splatoon, obviously, and I'm interested in Sonic Forces. Some games like you guys didn't really mention, apart from I love the Warriors franchises, all of that shit, not just like Hyrule, but everything that is Warriors, Berserk, everything. I can't wait for obviously Fire Emblem Warriors, but Fate Extella is gonna come out. I'm
Yeah, I'm
really looking
curious
forward to
about
That
that.
actually
See, I saw gameplay for that, but that looks kind of rough to me.
It's rough.
It doesn't
You
need to be.
I
super
like the game
deep for
visually,
me.
but it's right now it's like frame rate and whatnot needs some work.
The frame rate of Fire Emblem
That's
Warriors
one
isn't
thing
that
why
great
I-
either.
Yeah,
for
Fire
example-
Emblem Warriors it needs some work too. So
That's why I, for example, named Sonic Forces, because I don't care about frame rate. I see the Switch, I can take on the go. I don't want it on the PS4, on the PC. I could get that, but I like the Switch to take it on the go. So just 30 frames over 60 frames, I seriously don't care. And the
That game
last
did look-
game,
Go ahead. Oh,
so just to finish, the last game I had on this list, which I'm sure some of you would want to, but it wasn't mentioned yet, because it's gonna get an insanely gorgeous, beautiful edition, and I hadn't bought this on the PC yet. Is Axiom Verge.
oh yeah.
oh boy.
Mhm. Great game.
hmm
That's and coming physical to the Switch.
Beautiful. With the
And I-
special edition. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say that Sonic Forces like off-screen footage on the Switch actually looked pretty smooth. Like they recorded 1080p 60. So I mean, I don't think the game, like if you say it runs in 30, but I was impressed with how it looked and how it ran on the off-screen footage. Now there isn't any direct feed up yet. I don't know if anybody that has any, so I'd be curious to find out what the real difference is. But
see, now I'm glad you brought that up though, because I forgot to mention that both Sonic games I'm very much into also. But I may do what Terrell and T said, where I might not get Forces on the Switch. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
Because like you get the better frame rate on the PS4, of course, but with the Switch you do get the portable. So it's like I don't really know what I want more out of that.
I think Mania works better for pick up and play than Forces will. And I think that's why I don't mind it. That's why I don't mind getting Mania on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Forces, it's kind of like
I don't know if I want to play it on that small screen too.
Like, it's. I don't know how I feel about that one.
Yeah,
everything I played on the small screen so far has been great on the Switch. Like,
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just like that's going to be the more graphical and looking, you know.
Well, I mean, I just linked some off-screen footage and like
let's see,
it still looks pretty fast. I mean, when he's running full speed, it's still moving pretty fast. So
it doesn't look bad.
But between the two, if you have both platforms,
I'm torn. I
haven't decided. It's going to be a snap decision for me.
It's not.
Well, then we also don't have a release date for that one yet either.
No.
The frame rate shit is always so stupid. Yeah, between 30 and 60, you know, sure, whatever. Maybe some people see a better difference. You know, it plays nicer. But these days, you have these people. I saw this yesterday. This stupid Lucky Still. I was looking at the Digital Foundry thing. I think it's Digital Foundry. I don't know. And one person sees like, yeah, see, this game is not 60 solid on the Xbox One X or something. There's this dip of like 1 frame and like 3 minutes. It's like, give me a fucking break. You're not gonna see that. If Digital Foundry wouldn't have that machine with the line, you wouldn't see that.
Not only that,
notice, like,
and I think with Sonic Forces, once you're playing it on the screen to go, you're not gonna give a shit about those 30 frames.
It depends on
the developer too. It's not the hardware either. That's a
for sure.
It depends if it's a steady lock 30 or if it's a 30 that drops to 20. In a game like Sonic Forces, it's
kind of important.
That's unacceptable if it's dropping to 20. If it's locked 30, that's different. Right. But once, just like Breath of the Wild, once it drops down to 20, that's when you notice it. You don't really notice the 28, the 26.
No,
but when it hits 20 flat, then you're like, you can tell.
Well, and the only reason why it bothers me is because Sonic, as much as people don't like Sonic Lost World was a locked 60, like the whole time. And so to me, it just feels like a downgrade.
That's just people eye test telling them. No, there hasn't been actual confirmation on that. But
that's why I said it's still up in the air for me.
I'm watching this gameplay, and I mean,
dude, it looks good, man.
It looks pretty fast.
It does look pretty good.
I'm all about this, man.
It looks better than I mean, it's off TV, so you can't truly tell, but it definitely looks.
Well, if it looks good off TV,
I was about to say that would more expose the problem. So it looks really
sometimes
good.
that hides some things like texture work and stuff.
To me, I will say that I think I'm gonna get Sonic Forces on the Switch. If not the PC, wait, is it on PC? It's on PC, right?
I think it's on PlayStation 4. And
then I'm getting it on Switch. I don't want to buy
scientific calculators on everything.
if it's on PC, if it's on PC, then maybe PC. But to be honest, like I could totally cut the frame rate in half if I could take it to work on break. I think it's pretty awesome, and I think I'm gonna get it on the Switch.
It does look pretty good on Switch.
I can take it on the go. Like that's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge. And that's why, like, to me,
man, that's a big deal.
Awesome.
Like, I really like to be able to do that with my games.
Yeah,
now.
so that's what's bothering me. It's like, what do I want to do?
And kind of like Juice was saying, like a fairly stable 30 frames is far from a broken game, even for a Sonic game. Like,
no, it's not bad. I mean, Generations, I think it ran at 30.
Generations was 30, yeah.
I mean, like, I think even Colors was less than 30, and that's the greatest. That's the greatest. So
I will say though,
Colors is great.
So nothing about that link. You know, watching the person play, like, it still looks like it's gonna have the same typical problems that I have with Sonic. Like, it does look like he's in more controllers, less momentum based. But
this looks pretty fun, man. I'm excited.
Some of it looks cool. Then there's like a moment where it's just like, ugh.
That's one of my biggest things about the new Sonic games is that you don't feel like you're actually controlling anything.
He actually looks like he stops on a dime, and it looks like it just looks like it's good to control, and it's not like you got to worry about them keep running after you let go of the stick. You know, like I never liked that.
Oh,
Right.
200 rings. Damn
That was a
it.
good impression.
Oh man, that was
But,
nice.
I mean, looks good on the off TV. Like, I mean, that's just we haven't really seen
Yeah, it's washed out a little bit. You can
a
tell.
a current generation type game that's coming to Switch and PS4. I mean, Snake Pass was a good indicator, I think, or a decent indicator, but something like this will be an even better like look at what
see
the
Skyrim.
difference.
I just hope it's actually like a good game, so
Yeah,
that
that's-
it's a reason for people to want to pick it up on anything, let alone
Yeah,
Switch.
Yeah, with Sonic, the first issue is just making sure it's a good game.
Yeah,
That's a pretty big issue.
I'm pretty secure about Mania. I have my pre-order.
Yeah, I'm about to say
Yeah,
Mania.
man.
I think Mania will be fine. It's forces we're concerned about at this point.
Yeah.
So who hasn't given their list of games there? T?
Me.
I'm guessing you're getting
He's
a lot.
raising his hand, man. He's
All right,
raising
so,
his hand.
y'all ready? Use the popcorn ready. No,
It's cocaine.
I'm with you. Like, this is like, I thought the Wii U was crazy at times, where it's like I'm just buying games. This is probably going to be like one of my highest game buying eras ever. But the first 9 months of the Switch. Okay, so just got ARMS, obviously. Splatoon, duh. I can't believe I'm saying this. Fucking Rabbids, Mario plus. I can't
we're
believe
all
it.
in. We're
I
suckers.
can't
We're all
awesome.
believe it.
That's awesome.
I had no, but yeah,
You're
Mario
gonna fall in love with
plus
the
Rabbids. It's a lock. I've watched the gameplay. I love it. I saw the guy crying. I was sold in. That was it.
Yeah, that was pretty great, man.
That did it for me. That was it. So that Skyrim, yes, this is my third time buying Skyrim
Yeah.
at full price too. So Skyrim, I just want to be able to have my hands, the Joy-Con separate and play that game like that. I just think that's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be the bomb D.
Motion control?
Yeah, with motion controls and stuff. So yeah, Skyrim. Actually, Fire Emblem Warriors is at the bottom of my list, but it's still.
How dare
man.
you?
I like
Yeah,
it.
it looks so good.
I just, it's not.
Dude,
You
the
gotta
fact
like
that
the
you can
Warriors
switch,
games for that kind of shit.
Not quite there. Like I hate the fact that
Bruh.
some of the popular dudes ain't in there, and I'm sure
I
they're gonna be
don't
coming as
even know
DLC.
I understand that, but
I know they're
I'll
coming as
say this.
DLC. I know that.
My thing is just the fact that you can now make your characters go where you need them to go, and
Yeah,
you can switch between characters in middle of matches. God, I wish Hyrule Warriors had that shit.
I'm gonna get it. I'm just saying it's at the bottom. I'm gonna get it as long as the frame rate holds up well and all that good stuff.
Well, all I heard is that it's an improvement from Hyrule Warriors, but it's still not perfect.
That isn't. Yeah, it isn't really.
It's still a while away. It doesn't even have a specific date yet.
Right. It just says holiday now, right? So
Yeah.
Wasn't it August?
It was August or something, or it was September at one time, and then they just said
it?
holiday.
Oh yeah,
I
Pokken
thought it was
tournament.
just
Duh.
I was gonna ask if anyone's picking up Pokken.
I don't.
I forgot that, definitely.
Probably.
Not day
It's
one.
a maybe, it's a maybe for me.
Not
There's
you
only
Poke
one
kids.
reason.
Yeah,
We're
my
gonna
issue
give
is
in
more
to
day
Pokemon.
one.
There's only one reason why I'm picking that up is because I still wanted to pick it up for the Wii U and never did. So I'm
You
just
never got
switching
it,
to
so
the
this
Switch
is-
version.
Yeah.
I'm
I would
Wouldn't
definitely
have,
buy
I
it if
swear
I
I would not have bought it if I had the Wii U version.
I would have totally. Yeah, that'd have been day one if I hadn't got the Wii U
Yeah.
version. But
Sure.
I think
I'm
my
a
main
little
thing-
salty. I'm a little salty.
Well, the fact that there is no other September game to worry about, that's the main reason why I don't mind getting it.
Well, I'm getting. Well, actually, I don't know.
Rabbids
'Cause-
is the end of August, so that's for me.
Yeah.
That's probably gonna keep me.
Right. All right.
That's
So
true. You
Mario
don't want
Odyssey,
that, yeah.
obviously, duh.
Yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2, duh.
Oh God, yes.
Ukulele, whenever that shows up.
I don't believe in that
have-
right now.
Well, you backed it though.
Right. Rhyme, I have
Yeah.
it pre-ordered. Yeah, it's gonna be free for me. Well, not free, but
Oh no, yeah, it'd be kind of free for us.
yeah. Rhyme, whenever that shows up, I already pre-ordered that. What else? There's something.
Did you
else.
say Mario? Did you even say?
Yeah, I said
Mario?
Mario Odyssey. That was the first one.
What else are we missing? Rocket League or
Rocket
Any of
League,
the
definitely
sports
getting
games?
Rocket League.
FIFA or
NBA.
NBA?
Duh. NBA
Yeah.
2K18. I'm getting the stupid version, by the way.
Yeah, go stupid. Go stupid
I'm
or
going
go
big.
home.
You go big or go home. That's it.
It's
So
funny.
I'm getting
They
$100
should
something.
literally make special editions called the stupid edition, where you get getting the stupid edition or the retarded?
Yeah, I
edition?
would just get it just to say the shit.
I would love to have some kind of sim racer or arcade racer show up at some point because Reggie said there were still unannounced games coming.
Maybe you never know.
So maybe we'll get Cars
Project
2.
Cars 2.
We got Cars
You
out.
Project Cars 2.
Oh, Cars 3's out.
Just giving us neat.
Hey, Liz, don't I want to hear that shit.
He
Don't
said
bring up
Cars
Cars
3.
3 in this goddamn chat.
He
That-
said Cars 3.
The screenshots look pretty cool, actually.
Yeah,
Lego
I'm
Cars.
really curious how the
Watch the
trilogy ends.
gameplay. Watch the gameplay of
It
it.
looks bad.
It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
fucking bad,
It looks
dude.
terrible. Yeah.
I'm watching some right now.
We're gonna get Lego Cars. So
Can we stop? No.
Well,
Lego Worlds.
Lego Worlds is coming too. Like
Lego Worlds.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no interest in Lego Worlds.
You said Lego Cars, but Lego Racer games are fucking amazing. It's the only Lego games where you can actually build shit.
The only
Are
one
they
I ever
good?
played, or I have it still, was the N64 one, and I think Rare might have made that one, or maybe I'm thinking about the Disney racing game.
Is that why the game is so rare? Stop it. I know it was a hero.
Yeah, like I already have 7 physical games on Switch, and
Oh, do
that's
you?
gonna be 15 or so by the end of the year. That's amazing.
Crazy.
I wanted to ask you, how many physical games do each of you own? I wanted to ask that since like 2 weeks already.
I have 4.
I have 4 also.
I have
I
2.
also have 4.
I've got 3.
I have 2.
Okay.
So
Well, what
I
do you
should be
have,
buying-
Retro?
I should be
T,
buying
what do you have?
I have 4
What do
as
you
well.
Wait, T, what do you have that's more?
I have Has Been Heroes.
Oh, okay.
I
That's
have
Oh, right. They did come out physically.
Legend of Zelda, obviously. I have I Am Setsuna.
oh,
I have
no, you mean Retro.
Mario Kart.
You mean Retro gave you I Am Setsuna. That's what you meant to say, right?
No, he didn't.
No, I'm the one who told him about it.
Oh, that's
you
what it
showed
was.
me
I
that.
have the Israel way around.
I Am Setsuna. Mario. Did I say Mario Kart? Yeah, I
Yep.
said Mario Kart.
Arms.
Arms.
Street
Lego Undercover. Lego City Undercover.
oh yeah.
I got it for $35, so I couldn't
Nice.
pass on that.
Okay.
And then Street Fighter. Yeah, 7.
So how?
Yeah,
Wait, how about Lego City Undercover? Is it an improvement?
It is a visual improvement for sure. Load times are an improvement. They're still not as good as I would like them to be, but you're shaving them out maybe 15, 20 seconds.
What about all those extra gigs the game?
But I mean,
came with?
it looks
Oh, wait a
really,
minute.
really good on the Switch screen.
And has co-op now.
And it has co-op. Like I play it with
That's
my
cool.
son. We have a blast playing that. So
That's cool.
I wanted to ask you that because I want to get it because I finished it and my fiance still wanted to play it, and we were like, we can get it on the Switch. The co-op thing.
it's
you
weird
get
though.
far away from each other as possible.
You can get way away from each
Some
other.
games they link you, like this is limited barriers. I was curious about.
No,
that.
me and my son got really far away from each other. So I don't know if there's a limit, but we were
Yeah, that's good enough already.
That's
Pretty
very
far.
cool.
yeah. We had to look at each other's maps to try to find each other. We're so far away from each other.
That's cool.
All right. Anybody, Robert? What games are you excited about for the rest of the year?
Okay, so for me, in terms of I guess retail wise, I do have Rhyme pre-ordered. I got that early, so I was able to get a discount. Basically, played what was it, 21 months?
Yeah, me too. I paid $22.
Yeah, I was remember I told you and got that early, so that was nice. Then you got Splatoon 2, of course. Cannot wait. Sonic Mania, I'm so disappointed that's not physical. That still blows my mind.
Yeah, that really sucks a lot. I'm with you.
But you get the
I
special
don't
edition.
get
It feels physical. I got the special edition. So
I guess, but I don't. To me, I thought the game was literally gonna be $60, but then they told me it was 18 or 20 or something like that. It's okay, but I feel like if it was even $30, people would complain for some reason, even though it's a lot of content. I don't get it. Whatever. People are weird. But then you got, of course, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I can't wait. It's fun. It's a fun game. And
It's Mario plus Rabbids. We're doing math here. Okay,
Mario plus
it's a math simulator.
yeah, Mario plus Rabbids, and it was fun at E3, and I can't wait to actually have the full game. And it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be funny. And then NBA 2K18, I will be getting. I like to do seasons of that game, so I'm probably gonna play a lot of that game. I like to buy them once a generation. So start of a new generation, portable NBA 2K, cool.
yeah,
I'll
me
take
too.
it.
Once or twice a generation. I don't buy it every year.
Yeah, so that's why last one I bought was 2K14, so that's why for 2K18, definitely want to get it. And of course, Super Mario Odyssey. That's gonna be amazing. Cannot wait for that. And then, what else you got? Skyrim. Skyrim. I think I think I'm gonna get Skyrim because.
Have you ever played it?
Yes, I haven't beaten it, but I bought it like twice now. So this
You're just like me.
Skyrim is a game that you can never beat and still get more than your money's worth.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Which kind of Zelda's even.
I didn't beat it either, so.
That's the thing is, that's why like a portable Skyrim is pretty awesome, and the fact that it's got some Zelda stuff is very cool in it too. And then in terms of Fire Emblem Warriors I'll get because I played like 20 hours of like Hyrule Warriors. So if I play another 20 hours of Fire Emblem Warriors, I'll get my money's worth. I think that'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened to Pocket Rumble? I still want to play that.
I just heard an update.
Yeah,
Something
I heard
about the online is the problem.
Yeah, they're having issues with online.
With online, really.
Just like NBA Playgrounds.
We don't talk about that, all right?
Oh, but they're waiting. Look at the difference. They're waiting till it's good. Unlike Playgrounds, where they
Well, you get Shaq Fu though, dog. You get Shaq Fu.
Yeah,
because
we're getting that to this year.
I was gonna say because the issue with NBA Live, NBA Playgrounds, is that they had they had the update ready, but apparently the update is like too big for what Nintendo. When Nintendo allows for updates.
Huh? I wonder what that means.
And so like they're trying
to get gigs or something.
Yeah, because it's also supposed to decrease the size of the game.
Yeah, the game is 7 gigs already, and this patch is like 7 or 8 gigs.
That's ridiculous.
And it's supposed to decrease the size of the game.
No, what they said, I think, is that it could work if they could have the decreased size that they already have, but they can't like remove the old one and put the new one in anymore.
Right.
So it's just the super massive patch.
Okay. Now I will say I'm like I said, I think I'm gonna get Sonic Forces on Switch, and then also Xenoblade for sure. Xenoblade, which I should probably finish.
You're not gonna finish.
Ooh,
this time,
it's shade time. Hit the 9 o'clock hour. It's shade time.
I'm about to say, Juice, turn off the lights. Be like, "What's up, boy?"
I knew. I knew once I said Xenoblade, someone, and probably just.
What about Elma?
Wait, did you beat Chronicles X?
No.
That's okay. I ain't beat that shit either.
Okay.
But I'm at least on the last boss. I'm just
I'm not. I sure am
around leveling
I
up.
still don't have my Mac.
I got my Mac.
Oh my god,
Bro.
my goodness.
Also, there's also some good indie games like Flipping Death. I'm very excited for that because Flipping Death, they did Stick It to the Man. And
you said Flipping Death. It reminded me. You said indie game. I'm thinking Runner 3. Duh.
Runner 3.
Yeah, I'm pretty
gorgeous
about that.
Runner 3 is going to be amazing. It's going to be one of the best games of the year. I think so too. That's going to be.
They
awesome.
just announced that SteamWorld Heist 2 is now multiplat.
Sweet.
Oh, what does that mean?
You mean SteamWorld Dig, don't you?
No, was it?
It was
SteamWorld Dig 2, right?
Yeah, Dig 2.
Yeah, I thought it was Dig. Okay.
It just means that the Nintendoverse is still gonna sell more than anybody else's.
It was a launch exclusive.
That's all it means.
Oh, was it exclusive to the
I thought
Switch?
it was a Nintendo Switch launch exclusive.
Yeah, the launch exclusive.
Oh well,
not.
that didn't happen.
Launch exclusive.
Yeah, I just said that.
Switch launch console exclusive for a time being.
Wait, are we still getting it first, or are we getting or not?
Who
They didn't
cares?
say. I think that's coming at the same time.
You know, I forgot. Like, there's those 2 mystery third-party games that I'm also really into, which is Steep and then also freaking Dragon Ball.
Oh, I'm gonna buy Steep too. I forgot about Steep.
I want those games, man. I really want.
I'm not gonna get Steve.
I ain't getting no damn Dragon Ball though.
Yeah, I'm the Dragon Ball kind of get a dig off that one.
No, you got. Shut up, man. Come on. That's gonna be amazing.
It doesn't even look.
Yeah, pimp slapped your ass. Shut up, man.
It doesn't
I'm
look
so
very
excited
good.
for Dragon Ball. I was excited for it last year, but I passed, and then I was like, "Oh shit, it's coming to the Switch."
You can get it on your PS4 right now for $20. Why you?
No, I want it on the Switch.
Also, yeah,
I'm
'cause,
still
like,
out.
also, we're not getting all the DLC for Dragon Ball apparently.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
No.
really.
Yeah, this is not the DLC. The
Well, what
DLC is
if-
not included.
We're getting
Now, what
most
if-
of it. We're missing like a few of them, I think.
Okay. Now, but what if that has like a budget price? What if it's $40?
Yeah, I don't believe it's going. It's banned.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
$60.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, you never know. It's happened with other games. I mean,
If it happens, I would be
Now,
pleasantly surprised.
you guys are
You know-
crushing a man's Super Saiyan dreams right now.
Man, we got a better one coming out next year. I don't give a
Oh,
fuck.
for
But
sure.
you say that we're not getting these. Are you
Force.
talking about the Xenoverse 1-2 thingy?
Yeah.
The game that's like that was released like last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
There's-
that doesn't totally remind me of the Wii U either. That we're not getting the DLC anymore.
Yeah,
Well, we're getting because it's like we're getting some of the DLC, we're just not getting all of it. And
like, I didn't even know that. I didn't know. I don't know.
And then
anything
the
about it.
other problem is that you would think that it would just be bundled together, right? Well, no, you still got to pay for the DLC if you get it.
Still got to pay for it. Yeah. It's like Mass Effect 3 all over again.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say that's just what the Wii U did.
Well,
People
this-
still try to
And I
sell
don't
that
understand
shit.
why Bandai's like, oh yeah, that's totally something we should do.
Yeah, because somebody in the chat said that DLC just came out for the other systems.
yeah,
The one that's not going to be included. But
which is
when-
weird.
Well, that's fine. That's fine, I guess.
if Xenoverse 2 was coming
Oh
out
yeah,
soon,
see, they're still dropping DLC for Xenoverse 2. It says.
Yeah, Xenoverse
Huh.
2 doesn't. I mean, it doesn't come out. It comes out in Japan in September. We don't have a US date for it yet. Which to me, you could still throw the DLC in there, especially if I got to pay for it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, man. In the
I'm
perfect
just-
world. In the perfect
I'm
world.
just excited for a Dragon Ball game I want to play.
well, who's excited for Call of Duty 4 remastered?
Oh,
Sold
man.
separately for $40. Doesn't come with the DLC.
No
That's
DLC.
complete
Yeah.
bullshit.
that's
Taking away the
dumb.
dick on that
So
one.
you say you want third parties on Switch, huh?
Well, here's what's really effed up about that, because that shows how piss poor like Activision's management is and how money hungry they are. Why wouldn't they want to put their game on the
It's
Switch
ridiculous.
also?
To me,
There's so much money there to make.
yeah. If there's any
You know, that
introduction, they
work.
should have had the Modern Warfare remaster on Switch, and
Sure,
then
that
but
would
had the
actually-
DLC on it, everything like that.
Yeah.
And it should be on Switch. Then that would be an opening to Call of Duty.
I don't know what
think
they're
that would
doing,
sell a
man.
lot.
Yeah, see
I
how
hope
that
no
sells.
one buys that. I hope no one, because you can literally buy the Infinite Warfare that comes with it for like
Yeah, for
$50.
less
All the
money.
DLC for cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking, man. And I mean, I'm excited for World War II. I will absolutely play that game, whatever.
Yeah, I think
console,
World War
but-
II looks really good.
Oh, dude, and I hear nothing but great things. But what are they doing there, man?
But
It's-
remember, if you want Call of Duty World War II on Switch, you gotta buy FIFA.
No, that's Activision. That's Activision. You got to buy.
Skylanders.
Skylanders. Oh, retro! You're
Oh, I'm in the good.
We already bought it, so we're all good. We're all good. We're
retro.
safe.
You're saving the Switch.
You know what I wanted to know, because I don't want to get into this too much, but it was reported that porting a major game to the Wii U was like $1 million investment or whatever. And then I was doing some math,
Yeah, you did the math on that, right? Yeah.
and I was like, even if they only make 20, I don't know what Activision makes on the game. The game sells for 60.
They probably make about 45.
Even if they only made like $25 per, they break even by selling 50,000 units. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how that they weren't making money selling 300,000+ copies of Black Ops 2.
of Ghosts and Black Ops 2.
And-
Because it wasn't just about making money; they want to do astronomical numbers.
Yeah, they want to.
And that's
With a piss poor effort.
They want to get paid.
I just don't understand. And that falls into the GTA 5 argument I made, where those games make almost $1 billion on the other system. So, oh no, we only made 500,000 on the Nintendo version. Like, that's, to me, that makes no sense. And the fact those games make that much, Nintendo shouldn't have to pay a damn dime for.
True. They
to
should
get that
be
game.
dying for another platform to put it on.
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, great, let's do it. Like, it's
More
like
platforms.
that's what Minecraft does really well. To be fair, they're like, oh
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
let's
Minecraft-
do it.
That just,
It's one
to
of the
me,
best-
is like,
Oh, and by the way, NBA 2K13 bombed on Wii U.
yeah,
Bombed.
that was one of the worst ones.
And are they being hesitant about the Switch? I think we're getting the 2K18
See,
full
I think
version.
there's stuff like how this behind the scenes shit plays out, man. I'm just so curious because there's
It's
so
not.
much.
We don't
It's
know.
just not consistent. We don't
Yeah.
know. We can all think, and we can. I talked about this on my video.
I don't like the people who act like they know for sure.
Yeah,
And
we
wanna
don't
talk-
know. We don't know.
they
But
wanna
it's
talk
just
down.
really, it's just such an interesting mystery. Like, why do some things happen some ways and other things don't? Like, there's no consistency.
Yeah.
And it's always around Nintendo specifically where there's no consistency.
Yeah.
And it's just I would love the behind the scenes, man. I would love for someone to just get fired from Nintendo tomorrow and then just come clean to the internet about how
Well, part of that is
Jesus.
Nintendo's fault, the consistency issue, because I actually touched it in my video. Is just, well, you have Super Nintendo, which was everybody was a dream for everybody. Third parties loved it. And then you had N64, which everybody went to CDs, and it was like nobody liked it, and it was expensive as hell. And then you got to the GameCube, and it was comparable price wise. Obviously, it didn't have as much space, but it still was comparable as far as costs, and people liked that, and a lot of people supported GameCube, and then everybody went to HD, the next generation, but Nintendo. And so you're back to that disjointed thing again. And then obviously Wii U didn't sell very well, and it was kind of a late entry into the 7th gen, if you will.
Yeah, it truly was, in hindsight.
Yeah, and then you have the Switch, which is cartridge based. Like a lot of this is Nintendo's problems.
Absolutely, I was about to basically agree. And the video I just put out, a huge part of the argument I made is that I really feel like there's just as much blame on the third-party companies as there is on Nintendo. Like I feel like everyone plays a part into why it's so weird around Nintendo.
Right.
And I just hope that we get to the point at some point where everyone can just meet in the middle and see the net gain of putting games out there for people to buy. Usually means if your game is good, people will buy it.
Right.
And I think
find ways to make it happen.
The thing with the game cards is, I bet it's something like a few dollars extra for if they were put it on the Switch that they have to give Nintendo for the game cards over like a disc. But like it just pointed out, I estimated low $25 they make for every $60 game. That's probably low. If it was $30, then you only have to sell 33,000 copies to break even. When these games are selling 100, 200, 300,000, I don't understand. And the Switch might even be cheaper to port. We don't know.
Well, that's why.
I'm guessing it is from all the accolades it's been getting. And
so even if they're making $2 less on the Nintendo version of Call of Duty or whatever, it's like the games, you still make hundreds of millions of dollars.
See, here's the thing. The Switch is so much, as far as the generation goes, is so very comparable to the GameCube. Like it has it has similar issues. Like I'm sure it costs a little bit more for the cards
development.
And it also costs, I believe it was $10 or something for the what do they call that?
The mini disc?
The fees.
Licensing
fees. Licensing fees on the GameCube was like $10, and then it was like $7 on PS2 and Xbox. So it's very similar. It is a very similar situation, but the difference is they supported the hell out of the GameCube, and not so much for the Switch right now. And the GameCube never sold anywhere where the Switch is doing.
See, my thinking on that is like, it probably just has to do with how different the industry was back then. I mean,
it's a different industry, obviously.
Yeah, we're going back 12, 13, 15 years.
A lot of people were still around that aren't around right now.
Totally. That is such a true thing. And like the industry was still in a big growth spurt, I feel, at that time.
It was still growing. Yeah.
And so everyone was figuring out how these things all played out. And nowadays, with the internet, with online gaming, with HD gaming and 4K, this and that, and all this stuff, Xbox Live, and voice chat, like it's just such a different world. The gamer's different. The industry is bloated, and I bet that's part of it. And back then, it was so simple. It was like level playing field. There's 3 guys that make systems. Let's make games and put them out there, and just the end.
The industry
end. And now it's a big muddled mess.
They shoot themselves in the foot. Like it's like we just completely jumped over 1080p 60 frames per second. Oh, we're going to 4K. What? Wait. We haven't even mastered 1080p 60 frames on consoles yet. Can we get that locked down before we move on to 4K and worry about that stuff?
Well, but there's TVs to sell, so they have to all get in bed together and be like.
And then they end up in the same situation all over again.
And that's the point I was going to make my final thoughts about the whole 4K. But just to point out, like, we're guessing here. Let's say $30 per copy of Black Ops 2.
That's fair.
Average per copy, 300,000. That's $9 million. So it cost them $1 million to port it, and they made $8 million profit. Like, to me, that excuse,
it's not worth our time.
It doesn't. It is worth our time. Like that's money made. I don't care if it's
some CEO can buy him a golden sink for his bathroom. You know,
to me.
Well, and that's why if those numbers are true, there has to be something else behind, and that's the whole. Did Nintendo piss people off? You know, that's where you start to.
I just think it's especially Activision. They held their hand out, and Microsoft threw millions of dollars their way, and now Sony's doing it. And once you do that, it's like when you feed a stray cat or something.
Yeah,
like
it's what they
says. We're going to publish all your games. Those guys will be right there with all their games right now.
Yeah, it's like, why should Nintendo Well, it's just the way that these third parties were. They were given that power, and they're not giving it back. Now they're like, if you want our game on your system, you got to pay us. And
Nintendo tried to keep them from this. Yeah. Everybody's mad at Nintendo for what they used to do to third parties.
Iwata had a quote. Like, didn't he have a quote predicting this would happen?
Yeah, he did. He was right. And this is
the
where
thing
we
I
are
feel
now.
that third parties are forgetting is you technically what they have to do, what is the only thing that would work, is combining Juice's argument with T's argument, where you take this GTA analogy, where even if you break even, like what T said, you plant the seeds by breaking even, and then your next game is going to sell so much better already.
Well, provided you don't lose money, the one thing you are getting is the goodwill of gamers, man. Like,
And
which
you
is
get
kind of
the
what you're
install
saying.
base that don't just play Mario games.
Right. You have to grow that base of people who don't, play those games. They're not used to.
That's
in the
worth
last
it breaking
15
even.
years, they're not used to that on the Nintendo console. You have to bring them back. You have to bring them over. So they don't want to do it. They don't want to spend the money. So what can I say about it? I think my thing was
somebody's
sound,
like, oh, $8 million profit. Well, how much do you think they put into marketing? $0 for the Nintendo system marketing.
Nothing.
For Call of Duty on Nintendo system, $0 marketing.
Yeah.
And
just put out a YouTube
say that
video.
it's out there. Yeah.
And Sony and Microsoft pay for a lot of that exclusive advertising.
Yes, they do.
So
mostly Sony now, but
I don't see how. It just must be something else. Like we said, they just decide that Nintendo's not going to pay them, whatever the reason. But anyway, that's gonna be it for the podcast. We've been going on just over 2 hours, so I thought we'd do some final thoughts and get on out of here. So let's start with Terrell.
Good podcast. Zelda Breath of the Wild DLC Friday.
Whoa.
Wow.
I forgot. I didn't realize it.
Oh man, that is.
Yeah, Nintendo put out a tweet. I think like 4 more days until the master until the first DLC pack is out.
Till we bring you back into this game another 100 hours.
I don't fucking know. Look, and it's like you just put out a new IP. Can we let that shit simmer for a bit? The next thing you're gonna tell me is next week. Oh, there's that new DLC character for ARMS. Like, well, shit, guys. Splatoon comes out in less than a month. Jesus.
Bro, this is a good problem to have. This is a great problem.
It's not a great problem
we didn't have last gen.
Exactly.
Yeah, but see, listen, some of us don't have unlimited money. We can't be spending all this money on all these games and DLCs. People got other hobbies, damn it.
You got to get another job, like that Sony guy said back in.
I'm about to say, I got to
back in 2006. Just get another job, man.
Yeah, if you want to buy a PlayStation 3, just get another job.
We're just trying to stimulate the economy.
Anyways, good podcast. Glad to have Rob back on here for the short time we have him for right now. He'll disappear back into the darkness for another 6 weeks.
Yep.
The Metroid darkness.
I think that was fair though. Just get another job. Get and you ain't got no games to worry about right now, so we ain't got no games you want to buy on PS3 in 2006. But so that was fair.
Jesus, T.
I didn't buy shit. I bought Spider-Man 3.
Well, I feel like that was not a sound investment in retrospect, but
no, it wasn't. It was pretty.
Try to get me sucked into this movie podcast bullshit again.
All right.
Anyways, good podcast, and as I always say, lots of gameplay to win.
All right, let's go to Rob next.
It was awesome being back on. I'm so glad that it worked out. I was so bummed that I wasn't able to get on the post Nintendo E3 one. But I freaking love doing the one between doing talking about Ubisoft and Microsoft and stuff. So yeah, I've been living, we were just talking about this, I've been living in 6th gen world the last week and a half. I'm playing GameCube Metroid Prime games till my eyes bleed this last week. It's been so fantastic. But here's what's interesting about this podcast and how much fun I had on it. We spent 40 minutes talking about ARMS, and it's like, man, I was planning on getting off the podcast and eating dinner and then turning Metroid Prime 2 back on. It's like, you know what? Maybe I need to just put ARMS on because I really enjoyed talking about it, and it reminded me how good it is. So I don't know. I'm gonna play it by ear once we're done and once I finish eating. It's like, who knows?
Is this what we're doing, guys?
I need you to record that, T, and then I'm gonna make it the ringtone on my phone.
There you go.
Y'all need to chill out with this shit.
That music is just so good.
It's
It
so
really
good.
is good. It's
Yeah.
it's 1,000 times better than Imagine Dragons. I'll just say that.
Ooh. You got no
Sick
shade of
bird.
the Imagine
I
Dragons.
like Radioactive, man.
I love Believer, man. Believer
That's,
is
that
awesome.
song has been actually. It took 6 months, but now it's on it's moving up the pop chart, so it's on the.
Yeah, we heard it
Radio.
on the radio the other day. Actually, it's pretty funny. So.
And
But
he
yeah,
ra-
no,
and he
it's been
raged
great to
out.
be back. I miss talking about Nintendo. I think some things aren't perfect in Nintendo land, but that is the Nintendo way. And if you look around that, there's really nothing but awesome things. Like all you just said, that to have the problem of so many games to play, whether they're first party or not, is pretty radical. So I'm excited, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully in the next couple weeks I can make it back again. Next week is doubtful, but I'm gonna try to be back on soon again. So it was nice to be back.
All right, let's go to Ms. T.
Yeah, great podcast as always. Really good discussions. Don't really have much to say since I already invaded Terrell's his
Get a dick, T.
As I always say, life's a gameplay. No, I'm just playing.
Worlds colliding.
What's the damn go, man? See, it's this black on black violence got to stop, man. I thought we were better than this, T.
As always say,
God.
straight into the boots. Peace.
All right, Robert.
Okay, so well,
Oh no, here it comes.
I've seen Transformers.
I did see Transformers.
I hope not.
so I
Hope you
did
didn't
see
pay to see it.
Transformers, and man, don't watch it. It was pretty bad.
Well, you done gave me your money already, so
Why'd
it's
you give me money, man?
Why? Because it's
Because
good
he's
quality.
stupid. That's why.
can't help it. You should have
There's
saved
only-
it for Plant Right or War of the Planet of the Apes. That's what you should
That's
say.
supposed
I
to.
am going to see
Yep.
that.
I heard it was amazing.
Yeah,
Dude, I can't
the first two were great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they were. That's what. Listen, I see every movie. I think it's pretty obvious right now. I like to watch. It's just like with games. How we play all games. I
Alvin
like
and the
to watch
Chipmunks, the
all
Squeak
movies.
Quote. You saw that too?
Yes, I did actually.
Oh my god! I thought I
Next,
was
he's gonna
so
watch
right.
this.
It was bad. It was
Well,
bad.
let's just say the good news is Transformers had its lowest opening weekend by a
did.
long
Yeah, but
shot.
And
Highest
Michael
in
Bay said he's
China.
not coming back for sure.
It's the highest in
I think
China.
I really
Yeah.
think he's the reason those movies just been going downhill.
Hopefully, it's a good new director. Maybe we could get.
You know
some
what's
good
really
ones.
sad about that too, and I saw it yesterday. I saw the new one yesterday, and what's really sad about that is I still think, like, completely sincerely, the first movie is still
I
a
love the
great
first.
movie.
I like the first.
I
movie.
like the first one.
It is.
I
incredible,
like it a
the first
lot.
one.
I wouldn't say I love it, but I like
I
it.
do like the first one.
It's
Yeah.
and especially when it came out, it was like, oh my god, it did.
Yeah.
It worked. Like that's how we all felt. And then I don't know, he just got
Couldn't tell what
stuck
the
up
hell
his
was
own
going
butt.
on, but
Yeah.
Well,
I haven't hated all the sequels. I haven't hated
Yeah.
them all, but for sure the first was the only one that's actually like a great movie.
The
In
second
the
movie
first,
like
in the
was-
first movie, you have that scene where they come down and they all transform into the cars. I think that's one of my most looped movie scenes ever. It is
Yeah.
so good.
and then later on, they're like hiding in his backyard, and it's like one of the biggest wastes of CGI I've ever seen in my life. It's like
I will never,
But it was
ever,
a great scene, though.
ever get over the Negro bots. I'm not that.
Mm.
That was the
Oh, I
lowest
forget
point.
about that. Yeah.
in that,
And it was his
I'm
idea.
done.
his
That
idea
was-
to
of
have
course that
the
was his
balls
idea.
on the Devastator to have the
Of
balls.
course, that was his idea. It was
Yeah.
awful.
Oh yeah, the balls on
Yeah.
them.
He thought that'd be funny, so he
He thinks he's funny.
there's writers had to rush these to write the movies, but then he adds his stupid immature
Stupid
humor.
testosterone fueled.
Well,
Crap.
there's some good news though, because tomorrow, goddamn Baby Driver comes out. I can't wait for Baby
Yeah.
Driver.
I wanna
A
see
friend
Baby
of mine
Driver.
already saw it and just raved about it.
Really, I can't
Yeah.
wait. I'm really excited for Baby Driver, and
I
also
How
haven't
do you go from Transformers, trash of the trash, to Baby Driver? Like, or being excited for Baby Driver. That
It's
is
all a
just weird.
transition. Son.
I don't
It's
even
all
know
a
what Baby
transition.
Driver is.
I was gonna say, what the
look
fuck
it
is
up.
Baby
Look up the trailer.
It's the
gonna be
new
awesome.
Edgar Wright film. I don't know if you know Edgar Wright, but it's his new
Edgar
I
Wright,
do.
man.
I
Come
didn't know.
Yeah.
he had a
I
movie
can't
come
wait.
out.
It looks.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
I've
good.
seen a
Mike,
preview for this
sir.
a long time ago.
Yeah,
Like,
oh, yeah.
over a year.
I can't wait. Yeah, I think it was like over a year ago. I
It's
think.
finally here, man. It's finally
It looks really good. This Friday is also Despicable Me 3, which I'll see that on Thursday. I'm excited for
Is
that.
what? What movie?
The second
Despicable-
one's
Despicable Me 3.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
And then
the first one was great. Second one's I can't watch it.
Unwatchable.
It's almost unwatchable.
You just have a high standard of quality. That's what that is.
And also in terms of the
That's a
game,
bad
there's
thing?
also this Friday Goner. I
No.
think people should check that out. Goner. I think it's this Friday. Goner, and that's
I
on
heard
Switch.
gonorrhea for a second.
Are they paying you? You get a
I don't
free
know.
copy.
I am going to.
I don't know how well that accountant did.
I'm not paid to say that, but yeah.
Why did he say it like that? He was like, "You get a free copy."
I played it
say
at
that.
PAX and it was fun, so I wanted to play it. So they're gonna. And I did also get an Ocean Horn code, so I'm gonna be playing that this week.
Sweet.
I started playing that already.
So hopefully it's good. It looks good. So
I bought it. I've been playing it. It's pretty cool.
it is. It's good. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I heard, some people really love it, but some people really don't like it.
It's kind
Really?
of slow.
Like,
It's
It's
not
got
for
some
everybody.
staunch opinions on both sides there, so
Sure.
it's interesting.
Interesting. That is interesting.
It's
And
not actiony,
more
it's not
arms.
fast. Go ahead, sorry.
Obviously, more arms is always nice. And yeah, so it's a pretty packed week in terms of entertainment value, and I can't wait. It's gonna be fun.
Are you not entertained?
Are you
And
not
so-
into trains?
So yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Oh, John Wick 2. John Wick 2. Just saw
buddy.
it for the first time. Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, that wasn't as good as people say it was.
It
Yeah,
was.
you can sit
bad.
down.
It was-
You sit down.
It
Richard.
was a great movie. It was a great movie. Like my brother, he loves all this shit, and I have a friend, he loves this shit, and you guys said it like it's the greatest
it's
movie.
so
It's
good.
Better than
It's
what
just
people say.
one.
Most people are like, the first one's better, but this one's good. I'm like, this took it to just a whole nother level for me.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's what my brother said. But what I liked about one is the surrealness of it all. You had like the stupid story with like the puppy and the wife and the car, but that was what made one more than the action scenes. I've seen better, seriously, the gun cutters. I've seen better shit in Equilibrium, but the action that was all too had for me. Like it was a nice movie, but it didn't come close to one.
I'm back and forth. I mean, I love them both, so it's hard for me to say.
yeah, one I like. I'd love to.
There was definitely more emotional resonance.
Yeah, I was
one.
about to say, there's more motivation in the first
You know,
one.
I didn't buy into that much in the first one.
Well,
Like
you have no heart. We've already discovered.
I have a
Yeah.
heart.
He was mad. He was like, how dare you say
That one, it almost seemed just too. Like even the first trailer, I was laughing watching the first trailer when I was like, this is really they're making this movie. This is the plot. Like I thought it was hilarious in a bad way, but the movie was still great.
Cool.
But
They're making part 3. We live in a good time.
it's good.
The more Keanu we get, the
Anyway.
better.
Retro,
And they're making a TV show.
they better not make a TV show.
They are making a
dare
TV
they?
show.
I guess it could take place in that universe that
No,
they've
don't do
created,
that.
which is
Don't do
interesting.
that.
But
Be
Go
like
ahead,
the Crow.
Retro.
It could be like the Crow, the TV show. That's not a good idea.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just want to use my final words to just because I liked this podcast. Like I was looking forward to it because we're going to do like a positive thing, like get rid of all the negative stupid shit, focus on the good fun stuff again. So I just wanted to say, like, I'm looking at my Switch all the time and I'm looking at my consoles, and what I didn't like about the Wii and Wii U is you're looking at this square box. It's sitting there and I see like a box and I see this Switch and it looks like fun. It looks sexy. It looks cool. And it just makes me happy looking at that system. And then you think about this year in gaming and there's like 2017 is absurd with the amount of games. And then you're thinking about the Switch is launching all these games, like new IP, like every fucking month. And then the Super Nintendo Mini. And it's like, where Sony and Xbox? It's like this Nintendo is destroying it by themselves. And it's just so much fun. And I like it that all of that was reflected in the podcast.
Jesus.
Tell us how you feel, man.
I got the lotion right here, man. We're good.
Oh my
I mean,
goodness.
Sony owners have had some good games.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to
Early in the year.
It doesn't look like, for me, it's not finishing strong, but for some people, I guess they're excited about some of that.
But by now, like nobody's talking about. It's just Nintendo. That's what it is. It's Nintendo
Crash
every day.
Remastered.
Like what you said, every 2 weeks we get like massive news from
Yeah,
Nintendo.
they
It
keep
is not stopping.
dropping news at us, and I think it's going to continue.
Man,
I think
I bet we're going to get a
somebody
great
that-
direct next month.
I asked somebody to explain why Crash Remastered is 30 frames per second while Mario Odyssey on the Switch is 60.
That makes no sense.
It makes no
Did
sense.
that game come out already?
About to.
No, that's
Close.
a couple days.
Isn't it tomorrow?
I thought it was the
They're
30th.
trying the same ad campaign that that they originally had. They're like,
Yeah, that was so. Ooh, I was like, that's not working.
That might work for people that remember that.
Yeah, if you're 40 years old, that's cool, man.
But
Are they doing the whole him like standing outside of like buildings and screaming and stuff?
yeah, he's getting his haircut, I think, in a barbershop.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man. I'm down with that. I remember that.
see?
That was
Yeah,
fun,
you
man.
remember that, but
Yeah.
But
I never liked him then. I doesn't do anything for
He
me
was
now.
mad because he was talking about Nintendo.
But it's
I mean, like,
He was dissing your boy Mario.
I was mad at him after I played the game, and I'm like, "What the fuck is
now,
this?"
I ain't gonna lie, I was a little upset at him for hanging outside at Nintendo headquarters
Yeah.
with his bullhorn and talking smack. And
He's
I was
all
like,
Especially when
Mario.
Mario 64 existed, and
which
they're
is a way better game. It was.
sitting there with this run at the screens. Like, I never liked that.
I mean, it was
Gameplay
the
that
90s.
game.
I did
It
like
was
the
a different
games, though.
time. It was just
But
a different
anyway.
time. Yeah, the games are fine. I like the games. They're okay.
I still don't know why Sony. Like, I've still not seen Knack 2 in any form. Like,
Yeah, what happened? That
Yeah,
game,
everyone
baby?
talked about. Oh, the big guys talked about.
it was
playing
shown in the pre-show. Like, where's the foot? I
was?
guess I could look for it, but it wasn't. No one's talking about it. Like,
I don't have the wherewithal to do all that. That's
Okay,
okay.
so
Passion
that's
project,
not
man.
It's a work in progress, bro.
anyway, here's my final thoughts. First off, Zelda DLC Friday, like Terrell said. Trials of Sword looked awesome in the treehouse. I'm looking forward to that. In the meantime, I'm still playing Horizon. I was going to try to get as far as possible before Friday because I probably won't be playing it for a while after that. And I will say that if you just don't mess with side quests and stuff, because there's so many of them, they're so pretty pointless. But I was sticking to the main quest. And I've encountered a character he's a pretty interesting character, and some cool stuff has happened. But like I said last week, there's not one point where you're looking in the distance like, oh, I want to go there. Like nothing happens like that. You're just following this little yellow arrow with footsteps under it. Every 50 feet, it tells you, make sure you're going in the right direction. And you can't turn it off other than turning off the objective. So I'm never looking around the scenery, and it's a beautiful looking game. And the point I really want to make is when they first showed the game, I was like, yeah, it looks interesting. I pre-ordered it before I even had a PS4. And then I saw the PS4 Pro footage running in 4K, and I was like, damn, that looks so good. Like, but I saw the Slim, bought it for $213 with Uncharted. But there's always been a little piece of me is like, man, when I get Horizon, it's not going to look as good. I can say honestly right now, after playing Horizon about 10 hours or whatever I have into it, I feel zero need for the PS4 Pro. Like, the game looks great. It looks beautiful on my TV. I can't imagine anyone that wanted games to look better midway through this generation. I can't understand the need for the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X mid-generational upgrades when Horizon looks this gorgeous, this technically impressive on the standard PS4. I don't know why the Pro and the X even exist now. It just seems so much more stupid to me. Never was a big fan of the Pro anyway, but I'm playing this game and I'm telling you, I don't see where there's room for improvement other than animations and some other stuff that's not really reflective of the actual visuals and graphics. And it's just like,
Uncharted looked great.
Yeah, there's absolutely no need for these upgrades already. Like, it's so stupid. These games look beautiful. It took them 4 years. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, PS4 is tapped out already. Remember that in the first couple months? It's like, no, that's not how it works. They figure out the architecture. There's all this RAM they weren't using. There's all this room for improvement with the graphic engines. Just technology in general, every year gets better, gets more efficient. They can do more with the same amount of power. And it just drives home the point of how pointless the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X is to me. Is like, just save that time and effort for the next consoles in 2, 3, 4 years or whatever. It's just, I don't get it. And Horizon isn't an amazing game, but it's fun enough that I keep playing. And if it wasn't for the combat with the robot creatures, because the human characters is, you want to talk about some of the worst, like, ridiculous AI. Like, I think GoldenEye has better The characters react better. They just run straight at you, shoot them with arrows, and they don't even flinch. And then you hit them with this huge melee down strike, and then if they're in the middle of their animation, that they just keep their animation and hit you and kill you. Like, there's so many little things that keep it from being great, but I just wanted to point that out. It looks stunning artistically too, not just technically. I think the art direction they went with, it's not realistic per se. Like, the characters look like CGI humans. They don't look like humans trying to look real. And then the world and the environment's beautiful colors. It's very colorful, and it's just a good looking game, and it's just a testament that the PS4 didn't need an upgrade already. Like, it just was completely unnecessary, and this has just driven home the point for me even more. It sucks that the game's not as good as maybe I was hoping it was going to be, but it's still fun enough. I think it's probably for most people going to be worth the $40, the price that it is. You might want to wait a little bit.
Yeah,
you got Watch Dogs 2, which
I just got Watch Dogs 2.
I'm more excited.
Oh, it's so good. It's so underrated. It's so good.
That's the one I wanted to start with, but I heard it was good, so I was like, then I might never play Horizon.
It does early on. It already has some of the same issues I didn't like in Watch Dogs 1.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so you've already started it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find out. But just wanted to point out, like, I'm still playing it, and there's some cool ideas there. But like I said, the biggest negative, and it's one of the compliments that Breath of the Wild got, was that there's always something that drawing your attention. Well, in this game, it's like, first of all, you can't see really that far because there's usually trees or fog or something. You really can't. It's not like, oh my God, look at that mountain, I want to go there. Like, none of that doesn't apply. There's not one moment so far where I was like, I need to go there. It's like really just getting through the story and to say, that I finished the game. I mean, there's some really interesting ideas. It's just the acting and the writing's pretty bad, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I think it's a little more ambitious than their talent level for that kind of stuff, but and then the map's just filled. Like, you zoom out and there's so many icons you can't even make out what anything is. There's just so many nonsense like icons on the map. And there's just too many.
So do you like the game? I'm confused now.
Yeah. It's all right. There's a lot going on that didn't need to happen. I think they just tried too hard to make it feel like a big open RPG, open world RPG. And I think they should have scaled it back a little, because even like leveling up, you don't even notice when you level up. It's just, oh, I'm up to 18. Like, it's just one of those afterthoughts where it's really not an RPG, but they really wanted it to be. So either way, it's a decent game, but I just thought I'd point out the whole visual thing is really, it's the strongest attribute, is how good it looks.
I was very confused through the majority of that, so I'm glad that you ended it.
I was just going to talk about the unnecessariness of the PS4. I didn't really plan on talking more about the game, but it came out. So
I just wanted to say that, not to interrupt you, to end it or to start a new discussion. What you said with the AI reminded me of one of my top 5 favorite video game things ever. I think it was Call of Duty, one of the shooting games where people talk about the super fancy, hyper advanced AI for the fish, and the dude had like Mario 64 behind it and shit. Like,
yeah, that was awesome. When, like, look at the fish react. We gave them AI, they react to you. And then they show Mario 64 doing that.
That was 20 years. Was that a Crobat video? That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was genius. So anyway, looking forward to Zelda DLC and playing ARMS some more and all the other games coming out. So next week, who knows what we'll be talking about. Hopefully, maybe Nintendo will have some more cool news in between now and then that we can talk about. So until then, everybody have a great week, and we'll see you next time.